welcome to the Booski compound. You are now part of Team Booski, baby. Welcome in. We have my friend, my guest, my brother, my king in the building, Rod of Points Blank Travel. And we're going to be helping you get your credit right. Get your money right, baby. Get your money right. I hope you guys can hear me and can see me. And here we go. I'm going to start with welcoming you in, and then I am going to bring up my guest. We did not get a chance to test. It was totally my fault. My phone doing spell check and missing letters. So we're going to get into that in one moment. I thank you all for being here. Please share me out if you are able to, and please smash those thumbs, baby. Smash them. We got House of X. What's up? My family is in the building, baby. They are here. Leo, what's up, Leo? Woo! Leo is in the building, baby. Thank you for being here. We got my girl, Uniquely Lavish. Hey, sis! Let's get it. Let's go. Positive vibes, good energy. And you think I have energy? Wait until you meet Rod, okay? Y'all gonna be like, oh my God, would y'all slow down, slow down. If we going too fast, tell us to slow it down. Welcome in, Naturally Corporate. Hey, bro! Thank you for joining on my Instagram. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. We got Aaron Ramirez. Woo! Aaron, I'm going to tell you, I'm upset with you again. I was in your live on Friday, and you did not say hello to me. Or Thursday. It was Thursday or Friday, whichever time you went live. Yes, guys, let's get it. Let's go. We are going to be helping you get that credit, get your money in order so you can have the things that you want to have in your life. You can do it. It does take obedience, and it does take determination, and you have to have faith and believe that you can get all those things that you want and want to accomplish, okay? We got D. Bryant. Good afternoon, everyone. Ring the doorbell and let's roll, baby. All right. Thank you, D. Bryant. If this is your first time here, please put in the exclamation point and the word welcome, and you will get a greeting from me and my stream bot, Alejandro. We got your favorite couple. Hey! They are excited for this collab. So am I. And I know Rod is also. We thank you all. Get your pens, get your papers, because you guys are getting ready to get some tips, okay, to help you increase your credit. Hey, Pretoria. Hey, Boo. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in, Nurse Leslie. Hey, Leslie. We got my baby, Lennox Lights. Hey, Lennox. Hi. Okay, guys, you know how we do, how we welcome in our guests. Put in those drum rolls. Put in those balloons, put in those confetti. Welcome in my guest, Rod of Point Blank Travel. Come on, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Put him in the chat. We're going to welcome him up. Y'all know how we do. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat so we can bring him up. Come on now. Put in the hearts, put in the balloons, put in those money signs, put in the confetti, cartwheels, whatever you want. Put them emojis in the chat, baby. Yes, that's how we do it. Look, they welcoming you in, right? Yes, that's how you do it. Welcome him in. Now, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We got a lot of energy between me and him. So listen, get your pens, get your paper, and get ready to get this info, okay? Again, I introduced to some for the first time, and I reintroduced to some that already know him. My friend, my brother, King. We are welcoming Rod of Points Blank Travel.
Hey, what's up, Queen? What's up, Queen? How's everybody doing? How's sound? Sound good, Vernes? Everything sound okay?
Yep. Welcome in. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect. That's why I don't do no sound checks. I don't need no sound checks, baby. I roll. You know what I'm saying? I just roll. Hey, but first and foremost, I want to thank you for having me here. Let me adjust my little. I'm using a different camera than I normally would, but thanks. I feel I am extremely honored to be in the Booski compound, baby.
Yes.
You know, woo! I would have watched it. I'd have been on the other side, but now your boy's finally in the easy, you know.
Yes.
Man,
I
I
see
didn't
your
get much.
people in the building too. Your people in here deep. That's right, y'all.
Well,
Come on in.
I ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. But they know I don't mean it. They better be. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. It is a pleasure to be here, man. I was listening to you. I was getting nervous because I couldn't get the link to work. I'm like, here we go again.
It was my fault because I have a new phone, and when I put it in, it automatically spaced Streamyard. Streamyard is one word. And I'm like, what is it doing? It was just a mess. I do apologize myself. But before we get started, Rod, tell us about you, your first channel, your second channel, and then we're going to get into talking about credit. Everybody, get your pens and papers. Everyone could use this information and these tips to help your credit improve. So first, tell us a little bit about you, your channel, and what you do over there.
Oh man, where do I start? Well, actually, I'm gonna start with Point Blank Travel. That's my baby. Started that back in October 2000. What's this? 21? I guess 2019. It started, man. It's called Point Blank Travel, and people use lax. How did you come up with the name Point Blank? And I'm gonna keep this short. I couldn't come up with a name, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to hit people point blank right between the eyes with the truth. You know, people don't want to hear the truth. They want everything to be sugar coated. They get a little worried. Oh, he hurt my feelings. She hurt my feelings. Well, you know, I can tell you what will really hurt your feelings when you go broke paying all that interest rate. That's really gonna hurt your feelings. So I'd rather hurt your feelings than tell you the truth. But anyway, so I put an S on there because I was talking about points, miles, cash back, and how to travel for little or no money out of your pocket. My last trip was in August 2019 for my birthday. I went to New York City and I paid a whopping $7. Flew round trip, stayed in Manhattan, and I used points and miles to take care of that. So it was a lot of people that I saw that needed help. And it wasn't that they were not educated. Well, they were not educated. They didn't know where to go to find this information. So I said, you know what, I'm going to be that dude. And I don't even know if I've ever shared this with I know I have my channel members, but in 2009, I had a bunch of pains and I went to the hospital and I was diagnosed with, I don't want to get into medical term, multiple something, but I had blood clots in both lungs. And
oh, wow.
If I would have waited one more day, they told me I would have died. And then my mentor, he said, you know what, man, it was the reason you were left here. I don't know what it is. I said, I don't either. And it took me, that was 2009. It took me 10 years to figure it out. Hence, that's how I developed Point Blank Travel. And then shortly after, I created another channel, Point Blank Finance, because people, they want things, they see things, they desire things, or they want to save and they really don't know how. You know, there's so many bad perceptions out there. You have to have a lot of money to invest. Speaking of which, I did a live stream last night where I'm launching a $5 a day challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get people to learn how to invest. And we're investing on a budget. I'm not over there trying to show off or show out. I just want to show people how to do it. And it's up to you how much you invest. But going back to Point Blank Travel, a couple of things I will tell y'all real quick. If this is your first time seeing me, I don't drop nuggets. I don't drop gems. I drop boulders, baby. I'm just going to let you know. I'm going to let you know straight up. I drop boulders. And the second thing, before I get started, I want everybody to get into this mentality before we get started, not before I get started. Get into this mentality. When I changed my credit profile, I changed my status. I didn't go from bad credit, which I don't use those two words. I use challenge credit. I don't say bad credit. But I changed my status. I changed my I status. I went from I wish I could get something to I can get whatever I want. That's right. I want everybody to get that mental going right now. So you'll see that. And I'm going to tell y'all, last day I'm going to say, Vernes, I did all the introducing. We can get into these questions. Don't think I'm some Harvard student, or I do have a degree. I have a degree in business and I have a minor in finance. But don't think I rolled out of bed with a high credit score. No, your boy went from 547 to an 809, and I'm somewhere between a 770 and a 790.
I'm always about being honest and having integrity. And if you're not transparent, your people look at you like who they think they are. So yes, it's true. Everybody starts out with the zero, unless in your mama and daddy use your credit and messed it up. But other than
my mama and daddy,
now you know I'm telling the truth.
You're right.
Listen,
you're right.
And we're gonna get into all of that. But thank you so much, Rob, for being open and telling us that. So guys, this is how we're going to do it. We are going to tell you about credit and some things you can do to improve it. If it's low, you can increase it. If it's already high, then keep it where it is. But most people, not all, most people are between a 500 and a 675. Most people. Now, you could be lower, you could be higher, but most general people, and we're going to stick with those numbers just for the sake of this live stream. So first, we're going to get into credit. What is credit? How do you get credit? So credit is a summary report or agreement that says that you're worthy to borrow money from credit unions, banks, loans, financiers, or anything like that. Yes, credit challenge, Lennox, especially after COVID. Oh my goodness. After, not even COVID, after the 2009 crash, a lot of people, listen, I'm going to be honest. I filed bankruptcy back in 2003. I had an awesome job. My job let us go. I was on vacation, came back. They said, come to my office. The whole department is gone. It went to India. Now, of course, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? They paid for me to go to school. I went and just got some schooling and little things like that. I started working. I've been in finance for so long. And you always think, oh, I'm in finance, I'm going to be good. Not true. Not true. I worked at Wells Fargo for a year. Loved it. That job was amazing. This was after my layoff. Guess what? Got laid off again. Yes, I filed bankruptcy. I'm not ashamed to say that. Sometimes you may need to file bankruptcy, but you don't always need to file bankruptcy. If you have, in my opinion, less than $30,000 in credit, you really don't need to file bankruptcy. You can get out of that, but it takes discipline and it takes hard work and it takes you wanting to go through that struggle. So from here, I'm going to let Rod tell us a little bit about credit and what you think about, you know, people when they get in the jam, especially back in 2003, 2009, when we had that, you know, that demise of everybody losing their homes, losing their jobs. What do you think about that era back then? And then we're going to work our way forward.
I think a lot of people, including myself, you know, they weren't prepared. Nobody expected that, you know. And a lot of times we start preparing too late after the fact. Again, man, I am not some credit scholar that always had good credit. I know what it's like. I've been fired. I've been laid off. I've had bad credit. I've had worse than bad credit. And again, I don't say that now, but I'm going back to when I did call it bad credit. But I think really credit is, and I work in the industry right now. I'm a business development manager on my part-time job that I do full-time. Okay. People don't realize that their credit is a mirror image of them. It's what the world or America sees you as. They don't get a chance to meet Rod or Vernes. They see this black and white, these numbers, these 30 days late, these 60 days late, these 90 days late. Now, what I would say, one of the things I didn't do, and I think a lot of us choose not to do, when you find yourself in a jam, it's so natural, and I'm one of those people that did it. It's so natural to get in a shell. You get embarrassed. You don't want to tell anybody. You don't have to tell Tyrone and Sharon, but I tell you who you need to tell. You need to get on the phone and call the creditors and say, hey, I'm having a rough time. What can y'all do? What can y'all do to help me out? You know, I ain't worried about Tyrone and Luther and all that. I'm worried about these people I got to pay. Because it may be a situation where everybody, and when I say Jimmy, Bobby, I don't care what their names are. They could be in the same situation. They don't want to hear my problems. But if you find out a lot of times, and when the pandemic happened, a lot of times people, once you call, you'll see you're not the only one. Everybody was losing their jobs.
Everybody.
I took a pay cut.
I lost mine in November. I was in finance again. Didn't think.
You know what, Vernes? I didn't lose my job, but when the way they cut my pay, I almost lost my job because I almost went in there and went off.
Okay. I hear you. Yeah. But it's companies too. During the pandemic, it wasn't only people, employees, it was also employers, people that had small businesses. I know the company that I love that I worked at, Lennox, and it's not my grandson Lennox, but it's Lennox, and it's they did China, and they were in business over 80 something years, and they went out, and I'm like, oh my. So it was a lot of, this pandemic hit people hard, but even before the pandemic, People were still recovering. People that were in the housing bubble, housing crash, that lost their house, that lost their cars, their jobs. Some were two family incomes, husband and wife, worked at the same company. Everybody lost. So, it does take, it's a road that you have to travel to getting better. And you can do it. The steps that we're going to give you today and some of the tips, believe me, if you be diligent, you can get out of that hole. I was there. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. I was there. Natural said, yes, no one's credit is perfect. And it's very important. It is very important if you're trying to get large ticket items like a house, a car, even some jobs, they're looking at your credit. So when I got my job in finance, I had to be honest. And I tell them, look, I was part of the 2009 thing. I lost my job. My credit is not good. I think my credit was only like at a 680. And I'm like, they're going to be like, girl, you ain't got this job. And sure enough, they did. And I'm glad that they took a chance on me. But yes, it is something that do not ignore your creditors. Make sure, she says she's taking notes. Yes, Leslie, make sure you are talking to your creditors. Even if you tell them, look, I can only pay you $5. At least you're saying something. And we're going to get into all of that. I'm in the 600, close to 700. Goal is 850. Yes, that is awesome. And you can get there too, Larissa. Yep, I'm in the process of buying a home. Now, we're going to talk about that too. When you're getting ready to buy a home or car, you can't be going out there buying all these designer clothes and buying purses. And you got to stop. But we're going to get into that. Let me just say this. You have to be financially responsible. Do not co-sign for anyone if you are trying to increase your credit. And we'll tell you why in a minute. Just hold on. So credit report is information or a detailed list of your current and past financial obligations. Okay. Credit monitoring tracks your activity, your limits, loans, credit cards, late payments, public records, judgments, bankruptcy, and personal information. And we're going to give you some things that you can go to that are free, that you can check your credit. And they're going to give you this thing called, help me out with the name of it, where they give you that extra money for if your credit is used, and say someone used your credit, and they give you that, like the extra insurance. So we're going to get into all that too. So be smart. Read everything before you sign it, even electronically. Even if you are becoming a YouTuber, they give you an agreement to sign. I don't care if it's YouTube. If it's something you have to put your signature on, you better read it, even if it's electronic. Okay? Especially the small print. When you get those credit cards in the mail and you think, oh, I don't want this credit card, throw it away. That still has your information on it. Rip it up and shred it. Don't just throw it in the trash. Okay? Pay down your debts by the due date or before. So we're going to get into all of that. You have to be intentional on your goal to getting your credit in order. Be expecting to get that credit card from Navy Federal or wherever you want to go, Walgreens, Walmart, whatever, to get a $20,000 line of credit. It can happen. You might start out small with $1,000, but your next credit card might be $5 and it might be $10. You can achieve this, but it all is a mindset that you have to have, okay? Every successful person was once a nobody who did not give up on their dreams, okay? Remember that. You have to think outside of the box and look at the big picture. So I'm going to let Rod take it from here, and I'm going to welcome everybody here in the chat. We really appreciate you for being here. If I did not pin his link to the top of the comments, it is in the description box. So I'm going to check on that, and I'm going to let Rod tell you. I'm going to let him take it from here.
All right. Hey, thanks, Queen. I tell y'all, man, a lot of times people, you have to have aspirations. And I like what Vernes just said, I was that person that didn't have this or that. And yeah, I wanted to give up. And then I used the excuse of my parents didn't teach me or nobody taught me. But I tell you, there's a college right now that you can go to, and it's absolutely free. You don't need tuition assistance. You don't need a student loan. It's called the University of Google. Now, don't go look for the University of Google. It's just google.com, okay? Everything that I think I may want to know, I self-taught myself credit. And I'm going to give people a tip in a minute once we get deep into it. One of the things, I want people to start thinking about it right now. Matter of fact, before I go any further, I don't know if y'all ever watched Patti LaBelle perform, but when she get to really jamming, she started taking stuff off. I ain't about to get naked, but I might take my towel and that's it. You know, she kick her shoes. I might just take this towel because once I get into it and get hot and I got all these lights on me. But anyway, when you're looking and everybody think, you know, I'm paying my credit cards on time. Why isn't my score going up? I pay every month. Why isn't my score going up? Well, there's some tricks in there. You can pay on time every month and don't stop. Paying on time is 35% of your credit score.
Wait, Rod, before you get into that, hold on. Before you
don't even say it. I don't even say it.
Hold on. Thank you, D. Bryant. Let me just give you this song that I have for people who give us super chat and super stickers. Hold on one moment. Thank you so much for that, D. Bryant. So listen, get your pens and papers. He's getting ready to drop what you said. Boulders, what you called it?
Boulders,
baby.
You need 3 hard hats in case one get cracked. You might want to pull another one out because I'm just telling you, and I don't know how much time Vernes got. I ain't got nothing to do today.
Right. Yeah, we're here to help them because you can. These tips we're going to give you today, you can start today, and your credit will increase by the end of next month. So listen. We want everybody to be successful. Okay. So Rod, go ahead and tell them about what the 35% and all that is for their credit.
Well, 35%, that's 35%. That's the largest one. That's paying your credit on time, Mm-hmm. But the bigger one, which is right below that, is credit utilization. It's 30% of your credit score. But in my opinion, now when these percentages, this is how they calculate your credit score. But in my opinion, when it comes to importance, credit utilization probably should be around 55 to 70%. I'm going to give a couple of tips, and I don't want to get off track with Vern because we got a lot of stuff. I know we did a kind of a video conference the other day, but I want everybody to start thinking about this. And let me talk about credit utilization. If you got a pen or if you don't have a pen, go back and watch the replay. You might want to watch it 5 times. It took me about 1,000 and about 2,800 videos to get all this down pat. So credit utilization is the amount you owe. And I like to use simple numbers. The amount you owe divided by your credit limit. So if you owe $300, you've charged up $300 and your credit limit is 1,000, you're at 30% utilization. $300 divided by 1,000. It's simple math. Experts, I'm not saying Rod, the experts say you should be at 30% or less. 30% or less credit utilization. The non-expert, your boy Rod, say be at 10% or less in case a situation happen and you have to push yourself up to 30, you're right there where the experts say you should be. Now, if you do like the Rod of old and you go to the mall, and you know you got $1,000 credit card, you like, I ain't gonna run it all the way up. I'm just gonna charge about 900. You know, I'm gonna charge 900. I only got 1,000, but hey,
wait a minute, not 900.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 900. I gotta keep that 100 because I don't want to max it out. They said maxing it out is bad. You know, I don't want to max it out. Well, guess what, people? You may as well max it out because now you're at 90% credit utilization. You're triple what the experts say you should have. And then when you pay the $25 minimum fee, guess what's going to happen? You thinking you balling. You think you big time because Rod did too. You think your credit should be going up and it's going to be, your car is going to be in reverse. You looking this way thinking you about to roll. You got your lean on, you chilling, and you going that way. You like, oh my God, I'm about to hit the car behind me. What's going on with my credit? Why? You had 90% credit utilization. You're a risk. You one step from being over the credit limit. So we got that out the way. I feel Patty coming on. I feel this time coming off in a minute, Vernes, because I'm about to crank up. But anyway, I'm just telling you right now. So, yeah, pay on time. But then what? Another thing people do, they pay on the due date. They pay 2-3 days for the due date. Again, everything I said, the people do, Rod is people. Everything I'm saying, Rod did. Oh, I paid mine early,
Me
man.
too, been there.
Exactly. I paid mine early. Man, it was due the 25th. I sent them fools to check on the 20th. Now I got all this check. I got this little thing right here. All I got to do is press a button. This there on the spot. Okay, guess what? It's the thing called a statement closing date. That's when the creditors report. I'm going to say it real quick. Mega boulder alert. And I'm going to say it as slow as I can without taking Vernes' time. I'm going to say it slow.
Go ahead.
When you get that little statement in the mail, the one that you may not want to open because your check was a little short this week. Or if you're like me and your statement come on your phone and you don't want to open it, that's I'm being real with that statement. Come in your email. Okay, how you go? Give a picture, drop it off at your house. When you get the statement, right now, I'm gonna share this, and I'll share it on Points Blank Travel. But I'm gonna
okay. While you doing that, thank you, your favorite couple. I appreciate that so much. Let me give you your song. Hold on. Thank you so much for that.
So everybody got a cool song.
Cut your fan
on.
Oh
yeah, man. I had to write. I got all kind of air on here. My air is set to 65 degrees, and I was already chilly. But I know once these lights come on, y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see this. This is every credit card that I have. I have 28 credit cards. 28. I don't recommend nobody go do.
But don't go say. Come on now,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
I was crazy. That. I lost my mind. So
yes.
don't do that. You can do a lot of stuff I say do, but don't do that. But what I have here, there's a date. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a date. This is going to be mind blowing right here. I don't know the due date to none of my credit cards. That date I just showed y'all is not the due date. It's the closing, the statement closing date. Why? I want to pay my balance in full before the statement closes because I know that's what Amex, American Express, Chase, Bank of America, and everybody, that's when they send your balance to the credit bureaus. So, Rod, and I'm going to use me as that. Rod, here you are. You think you're doing something. You pay, let's say I got good. I got real good. I paid my whole balance in full. I got to take this back. Let's say your statement closes on the 1st. 21 days after it closed is now the 22nd. That's when your payment's going to be due. It's typically 21 to 26 days. Mm-hmm. So, your statement closed on the 1st. You have a $900 balance. Rod got a $900 balance. Rod's like, okay, I'm going to pay it in full. And I'm going to pay it in full on the 15th when I get paid. Well, Rod, they reported on the 1st, and they reported you owe $900. And then when you paid it on the 15th, you go say zero your account. When you log in, your little phone go say zero. But your credit go still say $900. Then the next month come around. Yeah. The statement go close on the 1st. And then now your $900 go, but you ran it up $600 more. $600.
Not six.
You run it in place. See, I was in the military for 20 minutes. You run it in place. You ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to dwell on that, man. Hit me up at pointsblanktravel@gmail. Hit Vernes up. Which I could go deeper into that, but man, that's one of the things I see. And then another problem, Vern. Oh boy, hold up. I might have to go swimming in a minute and come back.
Take a break.
But let me just say this real quick, man. If y'all don't pull y'all credit report, if you like me, you know why I didn't pull mine back in the day? I'm going to say what a lot of people say. Why do I need to pull it? I already know it's bad. What I need to look at it for? I don't need to see it. Yes, you do, man. Face your challenges.
It's a mindset that you have to have and know. The best thing about that is making sure you know the numbers, and then from there you can go and do what you need to do. Yes, it's going to be a fight. You're going to cry. You're going to be mad. Yes. But once you start to see it changing, that is what is going to make it all better.
That's so true, man.
It's going to make it all better. So the next thing is 15% is the age of credit, meaning how long you have had a credit card. Now, if you open up one in January and then you go and you open up another one in March, that January falls off and it goes back to the March. So just know, don't try to keep applying for too many credit cards. I say 3 in a year. That's what I say. I say 3, but I don't know. What's your number? I say 3 in a year is the max.
I say 3 in a year is good. The most I've applied for in a year. I did what they call an Apparama in 2020. And I'm gonna show you when you become a master of your craft how I did it. I agree with Vernes. 3. The most I've done in a year was probably 6. I did 1 every other month. In April, I did 6. But in April of last year, end of March, beginning of April, I applied for 4 credit cards, back to back to back to back. But here comes a bold alert for you YouTubers. Mm-hmm. I got 4 business cards. Why? Why did I get 4 business cards? Because they don't go on your personal credit.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. And I guess who didn't know that? I didn't know that until I went to the college, the University of Google, baby.
Yep.
I went to college.
Business credit is different from your personal credit. Your personal credit could be jacked up, but you can still have good business credit. But you still need to get that personal credit in order anyway. Don't trip now. Yeah. Don't trip. You still need to get that in order. And the more that you apply for it, it stays on your credit report for 2 full years. Now, if you friends with Experian, they might can drop it off in a little bit earlier, about 3-4 months earlier, but the normal time is 2 full year cycle, meaning 24 full months. Again, if you're nice to Experian, you get more bees with honey. If you're being nice, say, hi, I know it's January. This is supposed to fall off in April. Is there a way I can get it removed? Sometimes they will remove it if you have good history. And like I said, you're being nice to them. Okay. And then the next one is the type of credit. Okay. Now what that means is, before I go into that, I want to let you know, if you're applying for mortgage or a car, yes, you can apply for 12, 13, and it will only count as one, but only for a mortgage and a car loan. Now, if you're doing credit cards, each one is going to count. And that's because mortgages, they know that you're trying to get the best rate. A car, you're trying to get the best rate. So they know that you're going to be shopping around. It'll still look on your report, but it won't report as 15, 20 inquiries. And when the 2 years come, they all fall off at once. So that is a good thing. So the type of credit, you want to talk about that, Rod?
Yeah, and with type of credit, and what I tell people, because it's only 10%, a lot of people, they'll see that and they'll hit me up, they'll call me or whatever. Hey, Rod, it says I should have, what is type of credit? Well, it says installment loan, revolving credit, which is your credit cards, your mortgage, your auto loans. Don't go out and take out a bunch of loans just to say I'm checking the box of hitting all the different types of credit. Because in my opinion, I have an auto loan. I have an installment loan, personal loan right now. I have 28 credit cards. I don't need another mix. I don't have a mortgage. I rent, so I don't have a mortgage. But I'm not going to go out and get a mortgage just to say I checked all the boxes. So types of credit is important. It's extremely important. But I want to say, with going back with Vern, say 3 credit cards in a year. Really, I think the average person, unless you do this as a hobby like I do, or you're out here performing a service like teaching people about it, I don't think anyone should have over 5 credit cards anyway. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
Don't
be like me and Rod, because we got too many.
Oh, yeah, man.
On this. That's why we can tell you.
I got cards sitting over here laying on the table. I mean, I got platinum cards. This isn't even this is the card under the black card. I got the platinum card. It's over on the dinner
and we're going to talk about that, Leslie. I'm going to get to you in one moment. Hold on one second. Thank you so much, Naturally Corporate, for the super sticker. Hold on, hon. This is for you. So Nurse Leslie said, can applying for too many cards get you in debt? Yes, especially if you do not get approved for them. So this is the thing. Don't just apply for a credit card because you want to have that 20,000, 30,000 on your limit. If you get one for 20,000, try to use that one and just use that one. No need to keep getting more because, yes, sometimes too much credit doesn't look good either, just as not enough credit. It depends on what you're doing with it. So in Rob's case, it's a business. Okay. In my case, I was trying to build my credit back up. So it depends on what you're doing. But yes, it can get you in debt because you can get 3 credit cards. And I'm just using this number for $30,000 each. That's $90,000. If you're not paying back any of those credit cards, guess what? You're $90,000 in debt, even though you have this credit card. So yes, that can happen. Did you want to touch base on that, Rob, before we go to the next person? Hey, Life.
Yeah, Nurse Leslie, I will say it. Believe it or not, too many credit cards. It's 2 things it's not too many things, but it's 2 things that really scare me. Only because I've been on the other. I tell my viewers and my subscribers all the time. I've been in the Grand Canyon and I've been on Mount Everest. I've been at the bottom and I've been at the top. And I don't just mind being on the planet Earth. I ain't got to be in the Grand Canyon. I ain't got to be on Mount Everest. Just at least let me be on Earth. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is when you have so many cards, I have right now, and I usually, sometimes I've shared this, I think in members only live streams, My total credit limit is probably over $350,000.
Mm.
And that's not counting the cards like this.
You can buy me a burger with
that. This card doesn't have a limit, but
shut up. So why scary. They called me today?
It's so like, scary. Who, American Express called you today?
I love them. I love them. Yeah,
they're cool. A bomb. They're cool.
They are awesome.
But you know what? Just so y'all know, over $350,000 in credit limits, but your boy get nervous. You think I was sweat a while ago because I got excited at these lights? You let me charge above $500 on my credit cards. I gotta go have a conversation with myself, Rod. Don't lose your mind, because at the end of the day, I don't care what these limits say. At the end of the day, you gotta pay these people back.
Right.
You don't matter what you got on these little numbers on your little credit report. You gotta pay them back. Now, right. Okay, Rod, go look at your bank account and see if your bank account got $350,000. And if it don't matter what those credit limits say.
That's right.
What does your bank account have? And in conjunction with that, with credit score, there's an old saying, and I grew up in a country town in Arkansas, and then I lived my adult life in California. Ooh. Now I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth. It's everywhere. They just in Arkansas, but they say it everywhere. Watch what you wish for. Everybody want that 700 and 800 credit score. Watch what you wish for, because with that score, you better have a gang of discipline. And Vernes said this yes. 30 minutes ago, because one of the scariest moments in my life was having all these credit limits and making one false move and missing a payment on one of my credit cards. I'm gonna take a nosedive from we'll just say 777. I think that's my lowest score, to probably about a 677 if I miss one payment. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you don't want good credit. I'm not saying they're gonna get good credit, but be ready for good credit. And
right.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yep. And then the last one is hard inquiries. That meaning you're applying for all of these cards. They stay on for 2 years. If you're applying for the Carnival credit card, then you got the Amex, and then you got the Marriott. Why are you getting these? Are you getting it for points so you can travel? Are you getting it for groceries to get money back when you buy groceries? Are you getting it for points for gas? Like, be mindful of why you're getting the card, and read again, because not all cards give you points or credit or anything. There are some cards that are for people with low income. There are cards that only give you $100 or $200, or some of them, they say, no, you give me $500 and then we'll pay it down for a year from what you use, and then we'll give you your money back. So you got the unsecured and you have the secured. But if you have okay credit, that is the one you want. You want the one where they're going to give you their money, okay? But you got to also remember, it's a mindset of, yes, they gave me $20,000 in credit, but I have to pay this back. How much am I going to spend on this? Am I only going to spend $500? Am I going to spend $1,000? Or say, okay, you're going to spend $2,000, because sometimes they say if you spend $3,000, then you get bonus or something like that. You get these points, but you got to pay that $3,000 back. Now, are you going to spread that $3,000 out over 6 months and not use that card again? Or are you going to be able to pay that $3,000 back in full? Like, you have to be mindful, and I always say this because I'm Junk Closet. I say this: if I want that dress or that purse is $250, I put it in the cart and I go back in 2 or 3 days. And if I still like it and I want it and I have it, then I'll get it. But sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Why did I put that in there? I don't even want it or need it. And I'll take it out and not buy it. So you have to be disciplined and say, okay, should I get this at this moment? That is super important with credit. Okay.
And you know what made me very disciplined, Vernes? In 2010, I was dead broke. I mean, I had 3 days before payday, and I had like $4 to my name. And I had to decide whether I get some gas to go to work or whether I get something to eat. 3 days till payday.
That's hard.
I had some credit cards, but guess what? They were all shut down because I hadn't paid none of them. So none of them worked. And I remember I walked into my closet, and I had a nice stand-up closet, and I looked around, and I had all these clothes. I probably could have had a garage sale, but I was too depressed for that. So I just said, wow, if I ever climb up out this hole. Mm-hmm. So now I don't care what my credit limits are going back to that. I just want to be able to pay my stuff. And we're coming upon a season right now. Vern just said too many inquiries. We're coming upon a season right now, and I want to
Christmas,
just warn.
holiday.
They go get you up at Macy's, Dillard's. I don't care. We're online, and they're gonna be like, "Do you want to apply for a credit card for extra 10% off?" No, no, no,
No.
I don't. No, I don't. I'm going to go ahead and pay this 10%. It's like taxes anyway. Why?
That's right.
And this is another bold alert, y'all. I've done it, man. If you go to Macy's and you apply for their credit card, and they're going to tell you if you approve. But
tell them the spiel, Rod. Tell them the spiel.
Little Johnny at the cash register, or whatever they call it, the checkout, whatever they call it. Little Johnny, if he see that little red thing and say declined, denied, or as D. Bryan said, delayed, he's going to say, hey, you're going to get a letter in the mail 7 to 10 days. My people, don't think when you go to Dillard's, just because Macy's told you you're going to get something in the mail 7 to 10 days, I can tell you there ain't going to be no card. It's going to be a letter telling you why you didn't get the card. And then you go to Dillard's or Nordstrom, wherever you go, Target. I don't know where people go. You go there and they say, hey, would you like to get you? Yeah, I just did this at Macy's. I think I got a good shot. Yeah, I'll do it. And then I'm going to tell you, man, this year I want y'all, if you got a pen and paper, write this down. Write this down. Right. You go be the saved, or think you saving. Let's say you go to 4 department stores. You're going to save $40 from applying for 4 different cards, maybe. Some of them don't even give you the $10 if you don't get approved. But I guarantee you're going to lose 40 points on your credit score because you just got declined 4 different times.
Yep.
Y'all don't hear me.
Each one.
Y'all don't hear me. It's gonna be the 40 for 40 thing. Oh man, I didn't get no card. My credit score just went down. Don't fall for that. And then guess what? Everything that you just got declined for, it's going to be on your credit report. What Vern just said, for 2 years, 24 months. It's going to be 2 more Christmases,
and you're
still going to be mad.
It's not worth it, especially if you're trying to get a house or a car. They look at that, and right now I think it's the most recent 6 months, everything is counting. After that, it does fall off your credit where they don't look at it, but why go through that? Okay. So before I finish, Nurse Lady said, wow, to have to make a choice, food or gas. I'm so happy you don't have to make that. Yeah. I mean, everybody has been there, or, if you haven't, good for you, but I've been there and I've told that story plenty of times. So yeah, it's a choice. They are lethal. Community Advocate Network. Thank you. Welcome in. Thank you so much. So listen, you can check your credit every year for free through annualcreditreport.com. If you want me to write that in the chat, I will. Annualcreditreport.com. It's free. It does give you your report. Now, you can also go through Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, or Wallet Hub. They will give you your credit score, but it's not your FICO score. It's your Advantage score, which is different. It is still good to know that number, but I need you to understand the difference. If you're going to buy a house, you don't want it from Wallet Hub and Credit Karma. You want it from Discover. Even if you don't have a Discover card, you can still get your free credit score from Discover, and that will give you your actual FICO score, which is what they use for houses, cars, and credit cards. Also, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Now, Equifax I love because you can get it free. It's only a certain amount they let you know. But if you pay for that version, you really are able to lock your credit, meaning you actually have a lock and you go in there and you flip it and it locks it where even if you apply, it's going to say, I'm sorry, but your credit is locked. You're going to have to go and unlock it. This is why I like Experian. Now with TransUnion and Experian, I'm not sure if you can lock it or not. I haven't tried them. You probably can, but I love Experian because most companies use Experian. Some credit cards do use TransUnion or Equifax, and you can ask them before you apply. You can get a pre-authorization and say, hey, can I see if I'm going to be pre-approved before I apply? And that will not go against your credit. You can also ask them, hey, Chase, what company do you use for your report? And they'll tell you, they'll tell you if you're nice to them. They'll tell you, hey, we use Experian. This way you know what to gauge. Also, your numbers will be different from each credit company. It will be different from Experian different from TransUnion, and different from Equifax. Why? Because they do not all report at the same time. Most of the time when you first get your mortgage and you make your first payment, you won't see nothing. You make your second payment, you may see it on Experian. You make your third and fourth payment, you may not see it on TransUnion and Equifax for 4 months because they don't all report at the same time. So this is stuff that you have to take and, become aware and write these down. You have to become knowledgeable about your credit. This is your money. This is how these companies look at you to see how trustworthy you are. So I say use Discover, which is free, and use Experian. Even with most credit cards nowadays, even with your banks, they are giving you your credit score for free. Okay, so make sure you are asking. A lot of credit unions give you your credit score for free, your real credit score. It breaks down everything from I hear something. From your car, from your mortgage, from your credit cards, or any of that. So make sure that you are paying attention to these things. Now, if you have charge-offs, collections, medical bills, late payments, we're going to get into that in a few minutes, but all of this is going to be incorporated into your credit, okay? So all of those things that I just listed are great places to get your free credit score. I love Discover. I love Experian. Which ones are your favorite, Rod?
Oh man, I like American Express is my favorite.
But everybody can't get it.
Right. And it's sad because my second favorite is Chase, but I will tell you,
everybody can't get that.
And I don't have it on me, and I still have it. And a credit limit is $750. I have the Capital One, not the Capital One Platinum card. If I had to start with a card, but my favorite is American Express and Chase, to answer your question. But I wasn't always able to get American Express or Chase. I started with Capital One Platinum, and now I have not only one, but two of the American Express Platinum. And I was talking to Shelton from Your Favorite Couple last night. We've been chopping it up a lot lately, talk quite a bit. We live about 20 minutes from each other here in the DFW area. And I said something to my live stream the other day, and I want everybody to understand it before I pull out any other card. And he said, hey, man, you got to say that. You said it in the live stream. I said, what did I say? I said, I better write that down. I forgot I said that. I don't show my cards to flex. I show my cards to show you what to get next. I hope that didn't go over nobody's head. So Vernes just brought up a good deal. I think everybody can't get American Express for now.
You can't.
Everybody can't get Chase right now. But, and I think I put this in my phone. Let me look here. You can. It's just a matter of when. It may take a little patience. Credit is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint. Yep. It is a marathon. So I used to look and I really don't look. And I'm glad Vern said it because she triggered this thought process. When I used to watch videos on credit cards, I didn't watch the Capital One Platinum video because I already had it. I watched the American Express Platinum video because of what Vernes just said. Everybody couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. I didn't have it. But then I slowly developed a motto. I said, you know what? I'm not going to look for the things that everybody else can get. I'm going to look for the things that everybody else think they can't get. The American Express Platinums. I was watching videos on the Centurion card, and to get that card, you got to spend $350,000 a year only with American Express. I don't have that one. Probably never will get it.
And the black card. Remember the one I was telling you about, the black card? I was like, oh, no, you will not get me in that trap.
Yeah, that's the black card. You talking about the other black card, the other one, yeah.
Yeah, the $500 one where they charge you every year. Yeah, no. Just for having it.
It's over there somewhere, and I'll get over there and get it. It's the heaviest card I got. It looks so good, but it ain't worth nothing, man. I'm not. One thing I won't do is I won't add up my annual fees. I refuse to because I know I pay a lot, but I also get that money in return. But to answer your question, I would say when I was just not this deep in the credit card game, people diss Capital One, but Capital One also have some pretty good products.
Yep, that's what she said, Capital One, yeah.
Don't get stuck in the mud. I did a video or a live stream on that. When you get one Capital One, people want to get stuck. I want to get the next Capital One. Diversify yourself. I'm gonna tell you. I have American Express, Chase, Bank of America, Citi, and I'm not saying this to boast, but what if one day American Express decide they don't like Rod anymore? Because I got into it with somebody on the phone. They shut every account I have down. They don't have to warn me, but all my cards are with American Express. I'm stuck in the mud. But the chances of Bank of America, Chase, American Express, Capital One, Barclays, Citi, all of them calling me and saying, hey, guess what? Don't none of us like you no more. Now, if you don't pay nobody, they will. But that's you have to have options. I'm like too short. I don't say his favorite word. My favorite word is options, baby. You got to have options.
And also with Wallet Hub and TransUnion, I know they give you $60,000 worth of insurance. So if your account is either hacked or identity theft, they will have up to $60,000 to protect you. So again, when you're reading the fine print, if they're asking you, do you want that? Take it. That's a good thing. That is so good. Felicia said, yes, NFCU. Yes, I have them. I actually owe them. So I ain't talk about them because I don't want them to know. But yeah, I actually owe them. Secure Card was my first card with them. Yes, they are awesome. My daughter and my dad is in the military, and they are a great card. But again, you know, I lost my job. I'm trying to rebuild. I lost some points and I'm gaining. And they're one of the cards that they just on the back burner right now. But I am in talks with them. But, you know, being honest and transparent.
I love it, Vernes. I love it.
I'm still in a bind in a hole with some of them. I'm not, you know, where I want to be or where I was at. My highest score ever was 720. But now I'm like at a 660, 670. But it's okay. I'll get there. And I'm not stressing it because I want you to know, even if you don't have an 800, if you have a 750 and an 800, you're going to get the same APR rate on most of your things. So don't just say, oh, I got to get an 800. I got to get a 900. Even if you have a 750, you're still going to get the same rate as somebody with an 800. You can strive to get that all in good, but don't focus on the numbers. Just focus on paying your bills on time, being a good recipient of this credit. So when people look at you, and also when you get good credit, that's something you really have to stay on top of, because most of the time, you guys with that excellent good credit are the ones that get hacked with the people looking at you because they know, oh, this person got $100,000 of credit. They're not going to miss $500. Like, you know, and if I'm not trying to be funny, but if you the one that only got $300 on this card and $200 on this card, you're probably not going to be hacked. I mean, you can be, but they're not really looking for you. They really looking for people that have that high credit limit. So just be mindful of that also.
Hey, Vernes, can I throw something in real quick? And one thing I want to say, and I'm not going to call, I don't do it on my channel, and I'm really not going to do it on Vernes' channel. I don't call out companies if I have something negative to say, but I like what Felicia just said, you know, but the End Rewards Secure Card. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of trying to get every card, like there's a card out there that looks like Capital One, but it's not Capital One. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not a fan of that company.
I know what it is.
There's well, you can say it. It's your channel. I just don't want to say
I actually like them.
Which one you talking about?
Credit One?
Yeah.
I actually like them. They're good to me.
Look close at the fees. There's a fee for a credit limit increase if you request it. Look now.
Right. And I don't get it when they do that, and you wait about a week and they automatically throw it on. There's tips and tricks to these things.
Yeah, but one thing I want to say, I mean, I'm not here to diss no card. There's another one, and it's FP. It's 2 words, FP. I'm not going to say the name, but I don't like them either. But the whole point is whether Rod like them or not, it starts with first, and then there's another first, and the second word starts with a P. Look at secure cards. You could get one from Discover. You could get one from Capital One. I wouldn't recommend Capital One. It doesn't graduate and it doesn't go to unsecured card. Look at Bank of America. The card is not going to say secure. They're not going to know it's a secure card when you go to the store. And I like what Vern just said. People target, like, when I pull out my American Express Gold, Business Gold, Platinum, I do carry the gold cards, both the business and the personal. I usually look like a bum. I'm not in no tie, no suit and all this. I usually I went to the store before this live stream and I had on some shoes that looked like I had mowed the lawn with. I had some sweats with a big hole in it, and I had a t-shirt that had a couple stains here and there. And when I pull out my gold card, they don't even take a second look because they probably think it's the Chuck E. Cheese gold card or the Pizza Hut gold card. It's not the American Express because I don't look like I'm supposed to have one. you know, and I again, I don't try to flex or floss. I just want to make sure people understand some of these little tricks out there, and like just and I know I watched the House of what is it? Not the House, the Atlanta Housewives 3 times, and I didn't watch the whole show. I just like the intro, and if I didn't get nothing else out of this show, what was her name? Nene. I like what she said. I don't keep up with the Joneses. I am the Joneses, baby. I don't keep up with them. So why I say this to say that don't worry about what card Rod got or Vernes got. Right. Get the credit cards that work for you. Vernes like Credit One. Rod isn't a fan of them.
Right.
Rod like American Express. Vernes like them too. But let's say I don't like Navy Federal. Everybody in the world like Navy Federal because they did me dirty back in the day. And my memory is kind of like an elephant. I don't forget too quick. You know. So just be yourself, man. Be who you are.
Yes, college. We're gonna get into that. So if you guys don't know, there's a thing called LexisNexis. Now listen, LexisNexis is awesome. I believe, don't quote me, I think it's $30 to get it from them. It could be more, it could be less. But if you get LexisNexis, it tells you from the first time you ever got credit up until now, from where you moved, whatever job you had, whatever business you had, it tells you everything. I like LexisNexis. I think everybody should get that at least once every 3 years. It is, to me, better than your regular credit score and your Advantage score, because LexisNexis is basically like the government looking at you from when you were it's like your Social Security card. It basically tells you everything that you ever brought. You could have brought a car back in 1920 and you don't remember. It's going to be on that report. Like, I'm just saying, I like LexisNexis, but if you're getting serious about your credit, I think you pull it at least once every 3 years. If you've never had it, you need to pull it. It will tell you if you had a credit card in college, if you had your mama put a credit card in your name back in 1945, it's going to tell you everything. So I actually like LexisNexis. There is a fee, but I think that is really good to get. What do you think about LexisNexis?
I love them, and you hear especially a lot of people that are in business talk about them. But yeah, if you want to get a clear shot of all the stuff you've done, LexisNexis is great. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say everybody's heard of them, because before I got in the credit card game, I had.
Well, we in the finance, so we know.
Yeah, I had never heard of them, but then when Vernes and I talked last week, she brought it up. I was like, man, that's a great point. You know, it's a great thing. You have to be aware of what the public is saying about you, because it's going to be stuff on your report, unless you're like an alien or something that you probably didn't know was there. Where somebody somewhere along the line put something that it may have not been you. Right. It could be like Vernes started out. Maybe your parents put some of your name. Maybe your uncle did, or your aunt. You know, you never know. So I would definitely.
And dispute it. If there's something on your credit report that you know was not disputed, there's nothing wrong with dispute. Now, I ain't going to tell you dispute if you know you went and bought that dress for $1,500. Now, you know you brought that. You better pay that back. But if it's something like if your address is wrong and you never lived in that address, dispute that, because that goes against you. Okay, if you know you never lived in Alabama, hey, this is not my address. Please remove this, because you want your credit report to be as clean as possible, you know, with accuracies. You know, if you have a medical bill and you know you owe it, like, listen, try to make some arrangements to pay those back. Your student loans, you know, we've all been there, maybe went to college and have these high student loans and can't afford $500 every month. Work out some kind of a payment arrangement with them, okay? Another thing I want to talk about, and I know Rod likes this, is a credit builder. So a lot of like credit unions do it. The one that you were talking about does it, and he's going to get into it. But yes, what credit builder does is, I'm just going to use an example. They give you $1,000, right? They don't give it to you in your hand, but they give you a card. And what you have to do is pay that back every month. I'm just going to say it's $25. At the end of that 12-month cycle, they will give you that $1,000 plus interest, which is, you know, it's not a lot, but they will also give you that interest. But each month that you're paying down that amount, then it's like you're paying a credit card off, and they're reporting it every month. this person has paid this card on time. So I think credit builder loans are good. What are your thoughts on it, and what companies do you suggest for that?
I like them. I mean, anything that's helping your credit is going to help. I like self-lender, lending tree.
Yes.
Yeah, self-lender is good. And it's not anything that's outrageous. It's just usually a small loan, a small repayment. And it's about 12, maybe 13 months. But I love them. Anything that will help your credit. If it's not above your means, I would say go for it. And it's not a person I tell everybody, man. People say cash is king, and that's cool, but credit is power. Credit is power. And you can leverage credit if you know what you're doing to get cash. You can leverage credit to get a business. But start somewhere, man. Secure credit cards, nothing wrong with them. Credit builder loans, nothing wrong with them. Wherever you have to start, start. And I love what Vern, just start. The hardest part, I can tell you the hardest part about working out for me is starting, getting dressed, and getting ready. Everything else, once I get there, I feel good. I'm enjoying the gym. The hardest part is start on my sweats, my shoes, my hoodie, and get in the car.
You got to get your mindset right. You have to get your mindset right.
Fear is something else, man. It's Sunday. I almost said something, but fear is something. Fear.
Oh yeah.
Will keep you held back. And you all I can say, man, and I don't care anybody I'm talking to out there right now that's going through something, I've had these same conversations with myself over and over and over because I've been afraid. I've been afraid to start. I didn't want to get the secured card because I thought it was less than the unsecured card. And guess what? I didn't have no card. That is the most dumbest thing I ever did.
The first thing is acknowledging that you are in a bind. Acknowledge it and work toward getting better. I did want to mention Quizzle, Quizzle is another good one to get your credit report from. Now, also, in order to get your credit in order, you need to start a budget. If you are not budgeting, you have to tell your money where to go. Okay? None of us in here or on YouTube are wealthy. You might be rich. You might have a lot of money, but none of us are in here wealthy. In that words, you are working for your money, okay? Until you are wealthy and your money works for you, baby, there's nothing wrong with getting on a budget. I still use coupons. I don't care what you say. I take my coupons to the dollar store and I get my toothpaste, my toothbrush. Yes, I do. But you need to get on a budget and write down everything that you have. Things that are on a monthly basis, things are on a bi-weekly basis, things that are on a 3-month basis. For example, you have a Discover and a Chase credit card. You got to pay that every month. How much do you pay? $35. Okay. What day do you pay that on? The 28th. You need to have a budget. Get an Excel sheet and write it at the top. Name of the company, how much it is, what's your credit limit, when it's due. Then the next thing, what do you have that you have to pay on a bi-weekly basis, like every 2 weeks? You have groceries. Do you spend $100? Your gas. Do you spend $50? Your pet food. Then the next thing you go to is if you have a home. That mortgage payment is due every month. Okay, when is your light bill due? When is your gas bill due? Is it $250 a month? Is it $200 a month? Okay, you need to start writing these things down and budgeting for it. Your water bill comes quarterly. So that's every 3 months. Are you paying $75? Like every little thing. Once you see it on paper, you are more acceptable to like, okay, I know I can't go out and buy that $500 purse. I need to put $100 on this bill, $100 on that bill, $200 on that bill. You have to get in that mindset of thinking you are worthy of having great financial success. Now, I'm just going to speak for my people. Most of us brown and black, black and brown people, we didn't grow up with a lot. We might have been middle class. We might have been poor. We might have been rich. But if you are not taking into account for yourself, then what are you doing? Like, you have to make sure that you know how your household runs. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here. Don't worry about what Rod's doing over there. Worry about how your household runs. Okay, what do you want to say about budgeting, Rod?
Man, you hit the nail on the head. Once you see it on paper, I can't count how much money I wasted because I wasn't putting it on paper. Once you see it on paper, you will slow down. You'll start. buying stuff that makes sense. I have a motto as far as a budget. Obviously, I have to pay my bills, but I pay myself first. I don't care if it's $5. I don't care if it's $10. Um, I did my motto for Points Blank Finance is investing on a budget. But if you're afraid to put it on paper because again, you don't want to see it, kind of like your credit report, you're living in fear. You're never going to move forward until you start seeing some of this stuff. You have to see it. You have to acknowledge it. Or don't say, I don't make enough money to have a budget. That's when you really need or don't even worse, don't say I make too much money to have a budget. Because guess what? That money can get sucked up real quick with a bunch of stupid decisions. Everything that I speak, I've been there, man. I've been broke. I've had money. I'm somewhere in between right now. But I like what Vernes said. We didn't. If I am mixed with some, I don't know about. I think I'm 12.5% Indian or something. Other than that, no. Vernes is 25% from the islands. I watched.
That's right.
But most people of color, I don't know. I'm in the background watching now. We didn't grow up with a lot, but I know I didn't grow up with a lot. And my brother didn't grow up with a lot. We wasn't poor. I'm not going to sit here and make it sound like that. We were probably less than middle class, but we wasn't poor. And one of the biggest, best conversations my younger brothers, just two of us, we had, this was a few years back. And I said, man, do you realize between the two of us, we make well over or close to, I think at the time it was close to $500,000 put together at our regular jobs. And he was like, wow, I never thought. I said, I did. Because I remember when I first went to the military, I was making $283 every 2 weeks. Y'all calculate that. In California, I was making $283 in California.
Wow.
Every whole lot. 2 weeks. Well, I'd be broke. Luckily, I had somewhere to eat because they fed you for free. I had somewhere to sleep. But luckily, I was broke 4 days after I got paid. Don't let me go party. I was broke the next day. But just you take what you have, like what Vernes said, put a budget down. One of my biggest fears in life, and I've started a long time ago, and that's why I am frugal. And my father lives like this by choice. He don't want nobody to help him. I just talked to him yesterday. He's 71? He just turned 72.
God bless him.
And he was like, well, Rod, I got $20 to make it till Friday. I said, oh my God. I spent $20 walking from my front door to the car.
Okay.
There's not even a store in between.
Ordering pizza, that's $25 right there.
And I was like, hey, you sure you don't need no money? I know I got money. I got money in the bank. I just give myself $20. I was like, I like that because he has options. He's choosing to do that. Why? I don't know. Because when I'm 72,
because they don't need a lot. Once you get of age, you don't need a lot. You just need a TV and a shelf to watch the TV on, some food and gas. You don't really need all of the fancy furniture because I'm an Ashley girl, so I know. I want my furniture from Ashley. I want my bed from Sleepy's. I want, when you get older, you don't need all that.
And when they think they do, Vernes, they make mistakes. My father went and bought a smartphone 2 weeks ago. Why? He called me 7 times yesterday. 7. And I called him. He finally answered. And he said, I said, dude, are you okay over there? Because he's in Arkansas. I said, are you okay? Yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out this phone. I figured you wouldn't mind if I would call you and just hang up. I was like, what?
Just help him.
I'm like, so when they do splurge, they usually get something they probably don't need.
That's right. And again, pay yourself first. When you get paid, and you know how they say pay your tithes and you pay all this, don't forget you. Because we tend to forget that. We pay all our bills and then we're like, oh man, I don't even have $100. I got to go and overdraft at my bank account, or I got to use my credit card. And taking cash off your credit card, I'm not going to say I had never done it because I have. However, there's a huge fee that comes along with taking money off of your credit card. So if you don't have to, this is why you have savings. This is why you have extra rainy day money. Mind you, that's 2 different things. This is why you have a savings account. This is why you have an IRA. You have to have different accounts and tell your money where to go. I don't care if you're putting $10 in each account. There's a man that I know was a janitor, made $20,000 a year. Guess how much that man saved? $1 million. So ain't no way that y'all can tell me that y'all not making more than $20,000 at your job, that you can't say $1 million on a $20,000 salary. Guess what? Sometimes you have to sacrifice, and you can't always go out and have pizza and wings every day. You can't always eat out every day. I'm y'all know sometimes I don't eat out when I'm on live. I bring my own food, because you have to learn how to budget. Pay yourself first. Look, the best investment you can make is in yourself. That is the best investment. And I'm sorry, but y'all gonna I might hurt some people's feelings, but in my opinion, the worst thing that public assistance could have done was gave people iPhones. And I'm sorry, I work and I can't afford an iPhone. They got the watches, but they don't know. Do you know how much those things cost and to work for it? When you work for it, you appreciate it. So pay yourself first. I don't care if you're putting $50 to $100 away every month. You have to have something in savings. I don't care if you only have $3,000. That'll be that money when, God forbid, something bad happens, you can fall back on that. And if you got an IRA at your job or 401k, take advantage of that. That's free money. Do not leave free money on the table. Go ahead, Rod.
It's funny you mentioned iPhone. I have the iPhone XR. I think that's the 10, and they're up to 13 now. And when the new one came out, what I did was took the money that I would have spent on a new one, and I bought Apple stock. I did it with the 11, I did it with the 12, and I did it with the 13. So we're going to say it's roughly about $3,000. And I flipped that money, and I'm up with Apple probably about, if I look, I want to say it's 120%. My mama didn't teach me that. My daddy didn't teach me that. I probably learned a little bit in college, but I tell you who, boy, we're going back to college, University of Google. You know, and I watch a lot of stuff. It's a lot of content creators in here right now. It's a lot. And I've yet to go to any live stream, any Vernes, House of X, Uniquely Lavish, your favorite couple. I'm trying to think who else. If I left somebody out, because I've been to a lot of them. The one that Vernes did with, I just saw her in here. What was the from the Virgin Islands?
Jerry talks.
Jerry, every live stream I go to, I learn something. I didn't know. I mean, it may not be important to a lot of people, but I didn't know VI had their own little symbol. I go to House of X. I go to Uniquely Lavish. I'm in here. I went to, Uniquely Lavish almost got me fired at work one day because she was having what do you call that? A trivia game show. I'm over there playing that. I got my phone up. They were like, Rob, what are you doing? Oh, man, nothing. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm over here trying to hear the answers. And it was so fun, man. It was so fun. But open up your minds, man. Open up your minds. And I love what Vernes just say, pay yourself first. A lot of people going to probably say, what does this have to do with credit? It's all ties together, people. Because let's just say, and one of the first questions, if not the first question that Vernes asked me, had some people, not a lot of people, they may not have taken you a long way, but it would have given you a little bit of cushion. But if some people would have paid themselves first when the pandemic happened, they may have had a little bit of cushion to make it a little longer than they did. I'm going to tell you right now, y'all want to know what I got for a stimulus check? I don't even know how this happened. I ain't going to say the only one, but I'm only one of the black people that I know that this color that was mad about the stimulus check because I knew I wasn't getting one. I'm like, man, they sent me a little card. I almost threw it away. Open it up, and I got $90, man. What am I going to do with $90 if I would have gotten laid off? Because they go about what I got paid 2 years ago. That was the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. But we ain't here to talk about that. People, what I am here to talk about is get yourself ready. And one of my mottos, it came from Sugar Free, a rapper back in the 90s. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's right.
If you stay ready, hey, my boy in the crib, we got the credit card maestro in here. He is a fellow content creator. He was actually on my last live stream. We did a collab. And just to see him just made my day. But y'all, man, it's time right now. It's not time right now. It was time yesterday. It was time last week that we start somewhere, man. I can tell you, if Vernes sit up here and says she went through bankruptcy, The only reason
Right.
I didn't go through bankruptcy because I couldn't afford to pay to go through bankruptcy. I couldn't even get paid. I could pay it however you do it, but not now. But this was back in the day. I've had the repo man looking for my car, y'all. I had a Lexus. Here, this is just mind-boggling. I had a Lexus Coupe SC430 drop top. At the time, it was the most expensive car that Lexus made. And when I bought the car, I was in the military. I was making good money, but I retired and I wasn't making the same money. I couldn't afford the payment. And this was 2010. I had to park my car at one apartment complex in the winter in Dallas and walk to where I really lived just so they wouldn't find my car and take it. And the area I live in, and where I was living at the time, there is no sidewalk. So you got this African-American male with a trench coat because it's cold, walking in an area with no sidewalk and it's just some bushes, carrying some bags from the grocery store because I wouldn't even take my groceries home because I didn't want to lose my car. If I went through that and I'm nothing special, that's right, and I found a way to climb out of that, everybody can do it, man. I even told the repo man, you touch my car, I hope you fast because I'm going to shoot you and the car up. I mean, I probably wouldn't say that now, but we all been there, man. So right now, I challenge everybody to take a look in the mirror. Take a look in the mirror and say, it's the day-to-day. I ain't no preacher or nothing. I'm just saying it's the day-to-day that I done heard this man say what he went through. I heard Vern say what Sheeta went through, and they're human. They're everyday people like I am. Why can't I do it?
You can do it. You can do it. I remember when I had first got laid off from my first job working at the check company. I was devastated. Then I got the job at Wells Fargo and they went out. I was devastated. So I called the car company. I said, listen, I done got laid off twice. I don't know when I'm going to find a job. I don't know what's going on. This recession is no joke. I said, can you come get the car? Don't you know those people work with me? And they was like, we'll give you 6 months. We don't want the car. They don't want your car. They don't want your house. They'd rather wait for you to try and send them $100 every month just not to come get it. What they going to do with it? They're going to lose anyway. So they might as well just have you keep it. But if you talk with them, they may be able to help you. And then you may get a job and you may be able to catch up. So, talk to them about that. I did have some numbers. All of these are at the nameofthecompany.com. So it's www.equifax.com. This is their phone number if you want to call them. And if you have misinformation on your credit report, let them know so they can take it off. Here's TransUnion. It's again, www.transunion.com. This is their phone number. And this one is Experian. And it's www.experian.com and their phone numbers. So again, if you want to see that later on throughout the live, I will bring it back up. The smartest thing I learned was use your dividend payment to purchase the item from stock you own. iPhone, use your dividend from Apple to purchase it. Yes. And you guys know that I am with Stash. And if you sign up under me, you get $20 plus you get a free stock. I'm telling you, I have Apple, Google, YouTube, Nike, all the big names. And I'm telling you.
Hey, Vernes, it's funny. Awesome. I saw that because I thought I was on my channel. I was like, how did my stuff about Stash get up here? And I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, y'all, that is,
it is.
I'm not going to talk about it. Go to Points Play Finance. I did a video on Stash. It was my last video that I did. How I took $5 a day on Stash, which made me start this challenge. And I've turned that $5 into $8,144. Yep. It's possible, y'all. I ain't making this stuff up. I don't think it's all peaches and cream or strawberries and rainbows or unicorns over here because it's not. Your boy, I pay my dues, man. And I maybe have to pay them again. I never know. But I think I'm a little wiser now. I think I'm a little smarter. So,
yep. Here's some tips for you that I'm going to say. And as I say it, I'm going to stop and pause and let Rod, and then we're going to go to the next one. 10 steps for protecting your credit. First of all, see the big picture. Look at it, compile all your credit cards, make your budget, okay? And pay your bills on time. That is super important. Even if you pay ahead of time, just remember, you may be trying to be proactive and say, okay, my card is due on the 28th. I'm going to pay it on the 20th. Oh, I'm going to make another payment on the 26th. Just remember, both of those payments, because it's before the due date, only goes towards that month. It won't go toward the next month because you're thinking, oh, I made 2 payments. I paid for this month and I paid for next month. No, you have to wait for that closing day statement to end, roll around, and then, just like your credit report, every month at the first of the month, especially with credit cards, they give you your credit score for that month. So just be aware of when your statement is closing. Okay. And they usually give you a grace period. So if your due date is on the 20th, they usually give you to the 23rd, but not all of them do. So you have to ask them, like Merrick. Merrick is, everybody knows it's not a really great card, but I've had them so long, I'm not closing them. I only have like maybe $2,000 on it, but I use it every now and then. But they give you your credit report at the beginning of the month, but you don't get anything for having them. Like you don't get points, you don't get rewards, you don't get anything. So make sure when you're getting these credit cards, you are getting them for a purpose. So Rod, what do you think about the first 2 steps, seeing the big picture and paying your bills on time? And then we'll go into the next one.
Oh, you definitely want to see the big picture. And I think the biggest picture that people don't see when they're applying for credit, not just credit cards or car or credit cards. Why do you want that credit card? Yeah, think of the big picture. Why do you need that credit card? Do you only want it for an emergency, or are you trying to get points and miles? Like mine, I leverage points and miles and cash back. Every one of my credit cards, except the black card, has a purpose. Every one of them has a purpose. But and as far as paying your bills on time, I love what Vernes say. I always tell my child, become a master of your craft. Know the game. You can't play the game if you don't know the game. You ever try to play like me? I suck at spades. I understand it, but I don't know the game like some of them true spades players out there. I'm a master at dominoes, and I
love dominoes.
I love it, but can you play a game if you really don't know the game? Not really, but so yeah, pay your stuff on time. And then if you do make 2 payments, like Vernes said, it's only gonna go to that one payment cycle. It's not gonna roll over, but next one, Vernes.
This is knowledge. This is getting the knowledge of knowing how the things work. The next thing is cutting your debt. It improves your credit outlook. So if you need to cut something, you have to let it go. Okay. And the next thing is getting rid of those high interest credit cards. So just say you have 4 credit cards. One is 0%, or they say if you transfer your balance from card B over to them or something like that, right? Card B will be paid off. But if it's the higher of the interest rate, that's the one you should have the full amount on. So if you only have $500 on that, make sure you keep that. That could be also used as emergency credit card, or you can use that for, your safety net. Use the one with the lower interest rate to buy your groceries, buy your gas, get points back, and use that one. And then another thing is every time you have a credit card, you do have to use it within 6 months. So don't think, oh, I got 20 credit cards, but I'm not using them, but I got all this money. They will close that credit card on you so fast. I don't care if you buy a bar of soap. I don't care if you just buy one item. Every 6 months, that credit card has to be actively used, okay? I know they just closed my Buckle credit card, and I'm so upset because I love Buckle, and that's where I buy a lot of my men's gifts from is Buckle. But now they close it, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. Why? Because I haven't used it. Because I'm trying to improve my credit, and that was my fault. And I thought I had purchased something, but no, I did not. And they was like, oh, yep, we closed that. And I'm like, oh, great. So also with, like Pretoria says, don't you close it, but sometimes they will close it. If you haven't had any activity, they will close it. Uniquely says, would you guys recommend a consolidated loan? I say yes, but I'm going to let Rod answer that because it is part of the what do you call it, Rod? The trade line. But that you can talk on it. Would you recommend a consolidated?
I would recommend a consolidated loan, especially if I'm going to get a lower interest rate. Now, if you have, let's say, your credit cards, I don't care what your credit score is, you're rarely going to find a credit card less than 14, 12.99. And that's like rocking an 800 at a credit union like Navy Federal. Most of them are going to be like 22, 26, 28%. Now, if you get a consolidated loan that's 9.99%, yes. But what I would say, don't make consolidated loans. And I'm not saying this to Uniquely Lavish. I'm saying this to Rod and everybody. Don't make that a habit. Don't do it once. Consolidate the loan, pay it off, and then do the same thing again because you're really not learning anything. You just,
Right.
but yes, I highly recommend it. Just now, if the interest rate, if you're consolidating 7 credit cards into one consolidated loan and the interest rate is the same or close, I don't know if I go through all that, but if it's lower, and a lot of people say, well, I don't want to have to pay 7 different people. I don't want to pay one person. You still, if the interest rate's the same, you can have one or you can have 7 different. It's going to add up to be the same. But yes, if the interest rate's lower, and one of the things going back with what Vernes just said about closing credit cards or not using your credit card, I like Vernes's thing every 6 months. I try to do mine every 3 to 4, only because I think they may change the rules on me, man. I'd have had some bad luck in my life, let me not go wood. But I think, what if they change the rule? Well, they better change it to 3 because I'm doing that now. But and I have cards this is going to sound crazy. Out of my 28 credit cards, I use 26 out of 28 at least once each month. I'm that dude that will go to the store and get a pack of M&M peanuts, not even the share size. I get the itty bitty ones. I go up there and use a credit card. I don't care. But I'm like what D. Brian said, and D. Brian is part of the PBT family. I use my credit cards like debit cards. The only time I use a debit card is when I go to the ATM to get cash. I don't use a debit card anywhere. But every credit card I use, I'm either getting between 2 and 5% cash back in every or 2 to 5 miles. I even have the BlockFi. I was one of the first 100,000 people to get the BlockFi card, which I'm earning Bitcoin instead of cash back. And I've been blowing it up lately. But all I could say, man, is be careful. And like Vernes and the viewer was saying, who was it? Pretoria, I believe. Don't close the card yourself.
That's right.
Unless you have nowhere right now. What people don't realize, and I did another live stream on this, man, don't get emotional. Don't get emotional with these cards. You call and you ask for a credit limit increase. And they said, Rod, no, I'm sorry. We're not going to give you one. You know what? Forget y'all. Close this account. Matter of fact, close all my accounts. Don't do that because you're not hurting.
Because they will close them.
Yeah, and guess what? You just lost. Let's say the card you just told them to close you've had for 7 years. You just crushed your average age of accounts because you closed your oldest card. And I'm here to tell you, people, my oldest card has a $750 limit. Your oldest card is probably going to have the lowest limit because it's when you first started. So don't get emotional, man. Another thing I would say, if you do close a card, if you're getting ready to, look for a downgrade path. Let's say you have a credit card that has a $95 annual fee and you're trying to consolidate your bills. You're trying to scale back.
Right.
You're trying to do what Vernes said. You looked at your budget and you realize you're spending too much once you wrote it down. Now, instead of calling whoever, Chase, and say, I don't want this card no more, I want to close it. If you don't know, I would highly recommend going to the University of Google. Don't depend on little Johnny over there answering the phone to know, because he may not know either. He might not know no more than you know. Go to Google. Is there a downgrade path for the Chase?
Or look at our videos, because we have videos that talk about that.
Oh,
and you're going to get it real from us. We're not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you, look.
I have 350 some videos just on Points Blank Travel alone.
That's right.
And Vernes got more than that. So yeah, look at that.
Check it out.
Don't just close it out. You want to say, is there a downgrade path? No, before
or just pay it down and don't use it. And I like this, what Credit Maestro said. A monthly recurring subscription will keep your cards open without having to think about purchasing something. So just say you have, and I know this is old school, a Blockbuster account or some kind of Amazon account or whatever. Say, okay, this is $25 a month. Okay, I'll use an example. I have Streamyards. I pay for my Streamyards because I do more than 20 hours a month. You can get Streamyards for free. My link is in the description, by the way. But so I use my credit card and I let that $25 report every month, but you have to be mindful. Look, you have that $25 coming out every month. You got to pay it, and that will keep your credit card active. Another thing I don't like paying my credit cards down to zero. I think they should at least report $5 every month. I do not like it reporting zero because they're looking, oh, you're not using this card. Okay, then why do you need it? Let me close it. Let it report something every month, in my opinion. What do you think of that, Rod?
Man, I've had this asked a lot. I did all types of studies. and I'm not agreeing with Vernes just because I'm on a show. Because if I disagree, if I don't think so, but
yes, please do.
I used to pay all my cards to zero, and I watched the video. I watched another video, and they were saying, "Well, it kind of looked like you're not using the card." Yep. So what I do now is I kind of alternate. I may pay it down to zero this month, zero the next month, then the third month I'll leave something on it, because you don't want. I'm telling you, man, especially if you like me. If you've been, matter of fact, I need to use my Capital One Platinum card like yesterday. If you've been working your butt off to get this card, and you worked 3 years to get it, and you're scared to use it because you're scared of credit, and you just let it sit somewhere, and then you finally use it, and you pay it off. You finally use it, you pay it off. And then everybody said, "Well, yeah, it looked like you use it." It's use it, leave a little bit on it. So I agree with that. I just alternate mine. I do it every other month, but like I said, pretty much, yeah, every other month.
Another thing is, just say you had I'm gonna use me, Ashley Stewart or Ashley Furniture, because I love my Ashley Furniture, and say they had gave you a limit of $2,000, and you brought furniture, and your furniture was $1,800. Now you're down to the last 3 months, and you only have $75 left, and it's $25 for the next 3 months. Guess what's gonna happen when you pay off that credit card? You're gonna lose points. Your credit score is going to drop. Why? Because it's saying you paid off this loan. But don't get stressed out. You may lose 20, you may lose 30 points. Don't worry, because it will average out within the next month or 6 weeks. It will go back up. So say if you was at 750, now they took 30 points away. Now you're at 720. Don't worry, because the next 6 weeks, it'll roll up and it'll go back up. So just know, when you close out a loan or some kind of a payment that you paid off, your score, you will lose points. So what do you think about that, Rod?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I'm about to pay off a personal loan with Goldman Sachs.
Woo! I'm coming to your house. You got all the cards. I don't have no Goldman Sachs now.
No, it's a loan. I don't have a Goldman Sachs loan, but you're welcome. Come on over. I got all this big old house by myself. So you're more than welcome. You're the DFW Harry. I got 4 bedrooms. All that. I ain't even been in 2 of them in a couple of days. Maybe somebody staying back there with me. I don't know.
Somebody living up there.
They probably, when I go to work, they come out and cook and everything else, and then go back there. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely say I agree with that, man. Just a lot of what I may have a different opinion than what Vernes may have on something, but a lot of this, I see we got the credit card maestro in here. He's probably agreeing. We're all going to be thinking on the same page. We just may have different strategies, but I can guarantee those strategies are very closely linked. So,
yeah. So, regularly review your credit report. I say I look at mine like too much. I know, just like I look at my YouTube studio too much, but I think if you are aware and you have knowledge, say if you don't look at your credit card for 6 months, you could have identity theft that you're not aware of, and guess what? They won't pay for that. So I say at least every month. I look at mine a lot because I know what kind of transactions I do, especially if I'm buying something expensive. I want to keep an eye out on that. And also, if they're not giving you the right amount, say if you pay for something and you paid $100 on it, and you go back and they didn't put the full 100, you need to ask them why, because you know what they're going to say? Oh, you had a fee of $20 here and a fee of and you can ask them to reverse that. Just like if you get a late fee, if your due date was the 28th and you paid it on the 28th, but it was after 6 p.m., you can ask them, hey, can you reverse that late fee? I did pay it on that day. They may not do it every month, but hey, $25, $30 a month is $25, $30 a month. So I think that you should, make sure you are proactive in your credit journey. Okay. This is your money that is going to be used for you. So you need to be aware of that. Again, comb through your credit card statements. Make sure you're looking at everything. If it's a charge that you don't think is yours, dispute it. Okay. Protect yourself against fraud and ID theft, and take those steps to boost your credit. All these steps that we are giving you guys are going to help you. Okay. What do you want to speak on that, Rod? And educate yourself.
I went to pay what I think it was my Hillsburg card bill 2-3
What's
months ago.
that? I never heard of that one.
It's a jewelry store, man.
Hellsberg. Okay.
Yeah, I have to tell you a story behind it, but I went to pay it, and when I logged in, I pay it every month, and it's like 160, 170 bucks, something like that. It said, in case you need pandemic relief, we're here to help. I said, I hope this is a standard message for everybody, but it really wasn't. It was directly to me because I had forgot to pay it the previous month. And I looked at it, and it was a $39 annual late fee. I called them up. I said, ma'am, I want to pay whatever I owe right now. And I'm going to be honest, man, I had to put my business shoes, my selling shoes on. I was like, I don't care what the fee is. I just don't want this to affect my credit score. I've been busting my butt to get my score up. And if we need to say that I'm having pandemic problems, then we're going to say that. But I ain't having no pandemic problems right now. I just want to get, and she's like, you know what? It hasn't reported to your credit. And because you're so honest, I'm just going to remove the late fee. I was like, ma'am, I wish I was close to you.
They do that.
Some donuts or something. You know, you just never know, man. And I don't want to mess up Vernes, the flow we got going here. But again, when I say become a master of your craft, do you know I walked into a Chase Bank. I was offered a job I said, unless you're going to put my name in neon lights and call the credit card specialist up there, I don't think I could take it. And he was like, it was the manager. He was like, man, how do you know so much about that? I said, man, I'm a master of my craft. I studied it. I was telling him stuff about Chase credit cards that he didn't even know. And once I realized, it was just like a lion. Once I realized I had to pray right where I wanted him, I was over 524, which you supposedly with Chase, you can't get approved for a Chase card if you're over 524. Your boy went in there and got 2 of them. Why? I went in there and, hey, I think his name was Larry. Hey, Larry, man, I think I should be pre-approved, man. He was looking. By the way, you have any kids? Yeah, I got 2 little boys. Oh, for real? Yeah. I mean, I took over the situation, and then the situation fell in my lap. I hope y'all understand. I took over the situation. Now, I knew if they was said, no, Rod, we can't approve you right now. I had Larry in my back pocket, and Larry's going to call whoever we need to call to say, hey, I like this dude. I think we need to get him approved. I think that happened on one of the cards. I don't know what happened. But
I like the Chase credit card. I don't like the Chase Bank because I feel they take advantage. Now, I don't like the bank, but I love the credit card I got the the Bon Voyage. I think that's what it is. Chase Bon Voyage, where you get credit back when you go to the hotels. That's the one. Yeah, the black one. The Bon Voy. Yeah. Listen, he said, a jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Yes. I love that saying. Okay. I love that. But yes, you have to, know your score, get deep down into your credit. Don't be afraid. The first step is getting there and saying, hey, I have an issue. I need to get better with doing that. Paying the bills, automate if you have to. I don't love automation, but I do have some things on automation. I do forget. I do. So, we're all human. But if you ask them about removing those late fees, yes, sometimes they will do that. And it's good. Even PayPal, especially if you have a business, you can get a PayPal credit card. I have a PayPal credit card. I have a PayPal account for where I make my purchases. I have a PayPal. I love PayPal. And if you listen, this is one thing I'm going to tell you about credit. If you play the game right, say you had a credit card for $500 and you did good for your first 3 to 6 months, because that's normally the time. If you're paying on time and you're being good, they usually are going to give you a credit increase, and it's usually going to be double what you already have. So if you already have 5, they're going to either double it to 1,000 or 1,500. Okay. Sometimes they'll double it to 2,000. Sometimes every month they'll be like, we got a credit increase for you. And another thing, they don't even tell you sometimes when you're getting an increase. You'll look at your credit card and you'll be like, wait a minute, my balance is normally 2,000 is my limit. Why does my balance say my limit say 5,000? That's because they automatically give it to you. If you're a good student and you are looking at your credit, they will do that for you. So be aware of that also and keep an eye on that. That doesn't mean to go out there and spend it. Just like Rod and I, we have the American Express, no limit. That don't mean to go out there and buy 2 houses and 2 cars and a bus for everybody. That means you don't have to worry about getting approved if you go out and want to buy a TV for $1,500. Like, that's what that means, okay? So you have to make sure you are taking your credit into your own hands and you're being mindful about what you're doing. So if you know you spent $500 this month, whatever your minimum balance is, try to pay double that if you can. If you can't pay anything, at least pay the minimum. This is super important. At least pay the minimum. What do you think about people that may be in a bind and cannot pay their normal $100 fee, monthly, fee on their card? What do you suggest they do?
You said they're in a bind and they can't pay what, the minimum payment? Or
I'm sorry, the minimum. Yeah.
I would probably contact them immediately and let them know, because they'll typically ask, what can you pay? Right. And they're probably going to ask, how long will it be before you think you're back on track to being able to pay? Mm-hmm. But I would say, man, as soon as you get them on the phone and you come up with some type of agreement, try to get that taken care of as soon as you can, because you don't want to stay in that situation. You want to pay it off. You want to, but ask, hey, if your minimum payment is $25 and you only have 15 to spare for that company, because you're trying to spread $75 out amongst 5 different companies, let them know, hey, I can give y'all 15 now, and I'll try to make another payment. Don't lie to them. Be honest. And here's one recommendation. I'm gonna tell you. Just please, everybody understand this. When you call a credit card company, if one person says, sorry, Rod, we can't do that, you know what I'm gonna do? I used to go in the corner and want to cry. But you know what the Rod of today do? I call and I get Mr. Smith on the phone. Sorry, bud, can't do that. You know what I do? All right, thank you. I hang up and I dial right back.
I ask for the manager.
It's not going to be Mr. Smith. Or
ask for the manager.
Only reason I haven't, and I ain't got to that part yet, because they take forever to find this manager, because
I don't care. I'm holding on.
I'm going to call until somebody say yes. Hey, what's up? Oh, I thought that was another guy. Somebody going to say yes, or somebody going to say, you know what? I want to help you. And you usually get some help, but don't take that first no. And like Vern said, ask for the manager. Yeah, Leo, I used to go and just want to cry, man. I'd be like, oh my God.
Listen, at Experian, if you know that is not your address and that representative won't take it off, you better ask for a manager and explain. Listen, I've never lived at 123 on ABC Avenue. I need this off of my credit report today. It usually takes them 48 hours to remove it. If you go back, it should be gone. If it is not yours, go over there. Now, I want to say something on this, because he did touch on it. On the pandemic, I did do a video and a live on this. In the pandemic, if you were affected, you should have received help for your mortgage if you own a home, or for rental assistance if you're a renter. Okay, that's one thing. Your car insurance. If you were working from home, you should have received a check from your car insurance, because you were working from home. They were giving you money back. I got mine. I told you guys, I showed you the check. Also, your student loans. As of now, I know my student loan is back on hold again, which I'm thankful for, until February of 2022. So these little things, that money that you was putting on that student loan, just say it was $200, you can take that and pay off and pay down some of your credit cards. Don't just think that's an extra $200 you can put in your pocket. Just like with your car loan. If your car loan is paid off during the pandemic, I applaud you, because mine is not. But if it was and you was paying, I'm just going to say $300, you can take that and pay down a couple of credit cards. So you have to think of ways to increase and have your money. You have to tell it where to go. Money is energy. If you treat money like it's your friend and you love it and it's magnetic to you, you will always have a source of income coming in. And you guys know, I always say, have 10 streams of income. I don't care if it's YouTube and you're only making $1,500 a month. That's a stream of income. I don't care if you monetize on Instagram and that's $1,000. I don't care if you have stocks, the dividends from that. I don't care if you only get $50. That's $50 more than you had. Whatever StreamYards, if I tell you to go and I'm going to get $10, that's $10 a month more for me. All of these little things are streams of income. I say have multiple. A millionaire has 7. You should at least have 10 because you're not a millionaire, baby. So you should be trying to get more. So what do you think about with the money and the savings and things of other bills like the snowball effects and stuff like that? I think those are great for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, and it's a lot of content creators in here. And this here, what I'm about to tell you, I'm just going to tell you what I do. I ain't giving no financial advice, but I don't really care about the ad part. But what I do, and I get super chats, and I really don't care too much because I'm able to use their platform. But a percentage, and I'm not going to get into percentages of how much, but a percentage goes to the creator and a percentage goes back to the company. Well, I have an acronym that I like to use. Ever since I was a higher up I retired as an E8 in the military. STAB, smarter than the average bear. Well, I would take my revenue, and this is some advice or a boulder alert, whatever you want to call it. I take my revenue. What company do y'all think I invest in first? I just want to anybody type it in the chat. I have over 90 different investments, 90 different stocks and ETFs, and probably about 14, 15 different cryptocurrencies. Not because I'm rich. I might put $5 in there at a time, but I can say I got them. But anyway, the first company your boy's investing in is that company that's taking a percentage of my revenue. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for this.
Yes, honey.
Y'all ain't ready. Yes, she is right.
Listen,
yes. Miss Poulard know me well.
Yes.
I will take part of the revenue I did get instead of looking at the glass as half empty. And I just talked about this in my Points Blank Finance live stream last night. Instead of looking at it as half empty, your boy gonna make the glass half full.
That's right.
Y'all ain't feeling me. So I take a portion of that revenue. I invest in the company that's taking part of the revenue. I ain't gonna get into the percentages, but for y'all out there that know what the percentage is for super chats and all this other stuff, I'm up 69% with Google. They've only taken this percentage. So in reality, I'm up 30% with Google. But a lot of people cried. You know what I did? I cried and I did this here, y'all. I wiped them tears from my eyes and I found a way to come up, baby.
That's right. I tell them that, Rod. I be telling them, man, get on this Stash. Look, if you don't know anything about stocks, Stash is the easiest company. I prefer them over Robinhood. They are the easiest company. You can put in $25 every month. You can pick your stock. They give you free stock. I just got free stock the other day. Listen, always think of ways to have streams of income coming in. I tell you all the time, when I lost my job in November, a lot of you didn't even know I had lost my job because I used YouTube as income. I used my stocks as income. I used other things as income to keep me afloat until I was able to get another full-time job. And y'all know I didn't even want to go back to work. I wanted to stay home and be a full-time content creator. But for some of us, we need to, go there. So what I do with my YouTube money, that pays like 3 of my bills. Okay. That's 3 bills that are out of the way that I don't have to worry about. It pays like a car loan. It pays like for my nails. It may buy some groceries to get my gas. It pays little stuff like that. But guess what? Those little things add up. You can pay your water bill. Listen, use your income, that extra for other things. And again, pay off your credit cards, pay them down, do what you have to do. And I stress this to anyone. You don't necessarily need to file bankruptcy, but if you think you are at your wit's end, I say reach out to me first and I'll be happy to go over your budget with you. But if you're under $30,000, you're like, only $30,000. Yeah, if you're under $30,000, you can pay that off. It might take you 4 years, it might take you 5 years, but you can pay that off. That's not necessarily for you to file bankruptcy because bankruptcy stays on your report 7 to 10 years, depending on which one you file. A 13, an 11, or 7, or whatever you file. And then after 2 years of filing bankruptcy, you are able to purchase a home. Don't let people tell you that you can't. Yes, you can. And you can get a credit card in 6 months after filing bankruptcy. It's how you play the game. It's how you play the game. So, Rob, what do you think about that? About filing bankruptcy if they have to? I mean, this is a pandemic. Some people lost everything. I totally get it.
I'll make this real simple, man. You have to do what you have to do to survive. If that's the only option you have, you might say, well, I don't want to file bankruptcy. Or I could say, well, I don't think you should. Man, you have to do what you have to do. What is the best way for you to get around this situation, to get through it? And Vernes just told you 2 years after you can get a house, 6 months after you can get a credit card. But right now, I mean, if you need that relief, I'm not an advocate of filing bankruptcy. I'm not.
Me either.
But I'm not an advocate of being broke, but I've been broke. I mean, I had no choice. Okay. I'm not an advocate of having bad credit, but I've had bad credit. It just really depends on what the situation at the time, if that's what you have to do. But with that being said, you have to learn from that situation. Don't do it and then try to do it again and again. No, man. I just think right now there's so many people that were affected by the pandemic, and it affected me. I took probably a 50 to 60% pay cut. A 50 to 60% pay cut. It hurt. It didn't hurt too bad because I was making a decent amount of money. But they could do another 50% pay cut, and then guess what? Y'all gonna get tired of seeing me because I'm gonna be on YouTube all day, every day. Okay. I ain't going nowhere else. I'm just gonna be here. I'm not going to work for pennies. As a matter of fact, I be getting upset at work. I be like, okay, man,
you're monetized. That's a business set. That's money right there. Your business, if you have merch, free advertising, you have to use this avenue for what it's worth. So, Rod, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm going to let you finish it, and I'm going to have you answer Uniquely's question.
Man, that's a good one. I can look at the people. You got to answer that one because I don't know. I don't know.
I want to say no because when you do a Schedule A, when you file in bankruptcy, again, depending on which one you're filing, because I thought student loans was federal and you could never get rid of that, depending on which student loan you took out. So I would say look it up Uniquely and research it, but I would say no. But again, don't quote me on that. Because I know when I filed, and this was back in 2003, I was not able to add my student loans on my Schedule A. So I don't know. It may have changed. It may have changed.
I'm gonna text somebody right now and I'll ask them. So I want to get you that answer right now because what I don't know, I surround myself with intelligent people, and I don't know everything. So and what I don't know, I got people that will know, and I'm gonna reach out.
That's
to them.
what I'll say, Rod. If I don't know, somebody else would listen. And that's all about being honest and transparent. Yes. Hey, Danya. Hey, sis. Lennox said, I'm almost positive you can't file bankruptcy if it's federal loans. Right. That's what I'm thinking. But again, do your research. Rod's asking someone, and we will find out in a moment. Put green hearts if you have questions regarding credit, bankruptcy, how to get your TransUnion or Equifax report. I'm going to put it on the screen again. Here are the numbers. And again, they're all at their name, www.theirname.com, if you want to email them. Another thing I want to talk about while Rod is doing that, medical bills. People think, oh, I was sick, I have a medical bill, that's not going to affect me. Yes, it does. It goes on your credit report. If you can pay it off, try to pay $30, $20, something. But yes, it does stay on your credit report if you have medical bills. Now, there is a way to get them taken off. There is a way. And I will do that. If you're a member and you want to know, I will do a members only live because that's information that I will give out to a member. Okay. But yes, there is ways to get medical bills removed off of your credit report.
Hey, Vernes, can you drop it down real quick? I'm going to run to the restroom. And
go right ahead. If it's private through a bank, you can, I believe. And I read it somewhere when I was looking into bankruptcy. It says Lennox Lights. Thank you. But student loans is not included. Yeah. So, yeah, it depends on which loan that you have. Uniquely, again, if it's a federal, I'm more like to say no on a federal. But if it's a private, I don't know. They may let you do it. They may let you do it. So, if you were affected by the pandemic, make sure that you are contacting your car insurance. They did give out money for having that. And your student loans can get into a delayed state. I know mine is not due again until 2022. And then if you have a mortgage or or you rent, they were doing something for that also. Okay, so make sure you guys are looking at. I wanted to make sure that you guys could still hear me. But ask your questions in the chat. Rod will be right back. If you have questions, again, about all of this. So that's Equifax. Oops. Hold on. Let me put up the other one. It's TransUnion. Here's the number for TransUnion. And again, your credit report. It reveals a lot about you and how you pay your bills back. It monitors, even if you have a line of credit from your bank or credit union. And here is Experian. If you have a line of credit from your credit union or your bank, they report that every 30 days. If you're late, they report that. So just know if you have, Credit Karma or any of those, you can look on there and see. It will tell you how much your credit limit is, how much you spent. It will give you the percentage of what you have left or owed. And when Rod come back, I'm going to have him touch on that. Uniquely said, yes, it's federal. I really want it gone, but it makes my report look so ugly. Yeah, I'm on my phone, LOL. Yeah, Uniquely. Again, look it up, do your research. I'm not going to say, I want to say if it's federal, you cannot, but if it's a private, maybe, but I don't want to tell you the wrong answer for that. Okay. Oh, tax liens. If you have tax liens, that also goes on your credit report. If you didn't know that, yes, it does. And they stay on for up to 7 years. Unpaid tax liens can remain for up to 15 years. Okay. A foreclosure appears for 7 to 10 years. Student loans typically appear for 7 years. So even if you paid a bill off, sometimes you may say, hey, I paid that bill off 2 months ago. Sometimes it takes about 90 days to be removed off of your credit report. So just know that these things, if you're trying to buy a home, these things are super important for you to be aware of. If you are buying a home, just know that you should not be going out there and say your credit report is clean. Your credit report is at a 700. All the bills that you currently have is the only bills that you should be on there, and you can take away, but you shouldn't be adding. So if you have a 700 credit score and say you have a Victoria's Secret bill, your Victoria's Secret bill is $500. You shouldn't be going over there adding 3 more. Okay, Rod is back. Rod, I was telling them about if they're buying a house and they have a Victoria's Secret credit card and their score is 700 and it's $500 on the credit card, they shouldn't be going and racking up 300 more. It should be going down, because on your credit report, they pull it when you first apply. That's how you get locked into your rate. But they also pull it when you're getting ready to go and sign, and they look at it. And if they see, oh, this Victoria's Secret bill was $500, now it's at $1,500, that can slap that whole deal away. Think I'm playing? Let Rod speak on that.
You're right. You know, the last thing you want to do when you're trying to get a home is don't use any credit. Don't go buy no car. Don't apply for no credit cards. Try not to even use your credit cards. But you don't want to add what will appear. In reality, it's going to be more debt. You know, you like, I like what Vernes just said. You think $300 or $500 is not a lot to you, and you could pay it off, but to that creditor, it's just more debt. You know, and it's also showing that you're kind of haphazardly, not really watching your credit or your debt. Just chill out. And once you get in that crib, and if you like your boy Rod and you got to put some furniture in, you ain't got no bunch of money, then use your credit cards after you sign. After you close.
And that's what people do. Oh, I got the house, it's locked and sealed, I'm gonna go buy all this furniture. Nope. That will make that deal null and void. Literally, like, yes, Jaquette, thank you. I don't know if you know my brother Jaquette. Yes, thank you for being here.
Is this your real brother or your brother?
No. No.
Oh, well, he my brother too then. All right. What's up, Shakir? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, and I was telling about bankruptcies can appear on your report for up to 10 years, foreclosures up to 7, student loans for up to 7, and paid tax liens. I want to get into that because people think, oh, you have a tax lien that's up to 7 years. So it could be a tax lien for your water bill. It could be a tax lien for not paying your taxes on your home. It could be a tax lien for not paying your regular income taxes. So can you talk about that if you know anything about that, about tax liens that they will show on your credit report along with medical bills?
Yep. And one thing with tax liens and any other, especially medical, and some of these medical bills are astronomical, man. I get it. I know it's tough and they'll be outrageous, but you have to pay it. And then just because that's 7 or the 15 or the 10-year period, they still really don't have to take it off your credit. Mm-hmm. It can still stay there a little longer. And they may not be in a hurry, but I would say if you do get yourself in a tax situation, you may want to try, and they're high, they're expensive. Try to get in one of those tax firms and shop around and get some help, get some professional help. But yeah, they can hurt your credit, and they're going to be on there a while. It's not going to be in 2 years like an inquiry, and it's going to just fall off, and it's really
and another way to get increase in your credit is, I'm going to use Chase because we both had Chase. Chase usually asks you, hey, has your income changed? So just say you were making $40,000. You got laid off. Now you're going to say, no, I don't have income, right? They may lower your limit. But say if you got a job next month and they're asking you that again, and now you're making $75,000 in your new job, you need to add that on that credit card. Guess what? They will shoot up your increased limit. They will do that. Chase is really good about that. That's another way to get an increased limit, and they don't charge you. Chase doesn't charge.
One thing I want to say, and kind of piggyback in that verse, man, when y'all fill out these applications, especially for big ticket items, even for credit cards, for cars, don't get lazy. I see this day in and day out, and I see it from all races, all ethnic backgrounds. Put your gross pay down. Don't put what you take home. Hello. Put your gross pay. If you make $60,000 a year, that's $5,000 a month, but you take home $2,500 or $3,000. Don't put $3,000. This is not the time. You don't want to report all your income. Now, sometimes you don't want to report all your income because the more you report, the more they're going to take. This is the time where you need to use that income. And Vern said this several minutes ago. For you content creators out there, that is income. Any money that's coming into your household is income. That's why they call it income. It's coming in. Yep. Use your, if you have to. I haven't yet. I don't use my dividends. I haven't used any of my stock stuff, but I have, what's my favorite word? That option, if need be. You shoot yourself in the foot if you said, and I see it. I work at an automotive dealership. I don't sell because I'm a business development manager. And people are just being lazy. How much do you make a month? You make before taxes or after? Before. I don't know what I made before. I know what I take home. Well, I tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to learn how much you make before taxes today, because I can't get you in this $50,000 Tahoe when you talk about you make $2,000 a month. The money don't add up. It don't add up. So,
and another thing on that note, live beyond your means. Like he said, stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to live. And I'm not trying to be funny, but just because Rod and I have an Amex, you don't know what we went through to get that dang Amex card. Now, listen, okay? So just because you don't have an Amex and you have a Credit One or a Capital One or whatever, use that to build. And then once they see that you are having a good payment history on those, they'll come after you and ask you, hey, we want to, like I said, when you see those offers in the mail, those are legit credit cards. Even if you don't want it, rip it up, because it does have your information attached to it, and someone can go and use that. You threw it in the garbage and they can go and use it and buy a car in their name or a house or whatever. I've seen that happen to people. So yes, Pretoria, yes, income tax. If you owe state or federal taxes, which I always do every year, because quote unquote to them, I make too much, which you don't, please. I do not. But to them, because you're in a certain tax bracket, yes, you have to pay income tax. And listen, just because you getting the income tax back, that's not a good thing, because all that is an interest-free loan to the government. You want to break even, or you want to, if you don't have to owe, not owe. But if you're getting money back and you think, oh, I'm getting 40 or I'll use 10, because a lot of people get 10 and $15,000 back. All that is a free interest loan to the government. That's all that is. Because guess what? Come April 15th, they want all their money, or you're going to have to sign up and get on a payment plan.
Yeah. And I like,
and they charge you interest. Yes, the government charges you interest on that.
I like what you said about keeping up with the Joneses, man. Don't be, who I'm in competition with? Myself. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm in competition with me. If I'm a better me today than I was yesterday, I'm winning. Yep. I'm winning. Now, and I like what Vern said. You never know what a person went through or how they got something. I'll give y'all an example. I used to.
But before you say that, did you get an answer about the student loans? Because community advocates said
I'm still. I'm pretty much going with community advocate. I'm still waiting. It's Sunday. The person I had to text is out in Los Angeles, so I don't know what he's doing right now. I'm sure he'll let me know eventually. But you never know what a person may or may not have to go through. I used to go to the mall. And I said earlier, I dream of the things that people say I can't get or I'm not supposed to get. I used to go to the mall, and I always went to a jewelry store, and I always looked and tried on Rolexes. I always wanted.
Yes.
And I looked at those prices, and I said, well, boy, you're dreaming big. You're dreaming big. And I'm going to tell y'all a story about credit. I'm going to tell you how you have to become a master of your craft and think smarter. Mm-hmm. Now, the first thing when a person pay off a car, what do they want to do? They want to go get a new one. They pay off a car if they get that far, but they pay off a car, they want to go get a new one. Man, I've been riding around in this raggedy car for 6 years. You know what I did? And I'm rocking it right now. This is $6,000, baby. 6 G's. And I got 2 of them. I paid off my car, and I said, oh, wait, my credit's straight. I can get me a Rolex. And I said, you know what? I went to the store. I said, hey, man, can I finance a Rolex? He was like, yeah, we got 0% right now, up to 13 months. I said, okay, my card note was $400 a month. This was a few years back. That's $5,200. I put a little bit more money with it, and your boy can get his Rolex. I waited an additional 13 months to get a car, used the money that I was paying my car note, financed a Rolex, and I mean, it was like, I can't believe this was this easy, man. And my car was having some issues, but your boy, it was going through some things, but I weathered the storm. It was a Lexus, so at least it looked good, but it was having some issues. But think, and it's so many smart content creators in here. I've talked about the National College of University of Google, but there's also a state university. I'm going to call it YouTube State. Your people that's just a little older than 30, I might be 35, I'm lying, but I might be 35. I would rather read sometimes. So I'm going to read Google, but the young whippersnappers, they'll go watch a YouTube video, be done in 5 minutes, and I'm still over here reading the article in Google 15 minutes later. But it's free knowledge, man. It's free information. Learn it. 2 things I do when I get up in the morning. I thank the man upstairs for waking me up with my feet before my feet hit the floor. And I look in the mirror every day and say, I can. Nobody's going to tell me I can't. I can't. What's up, Extreme? How you doing, bro? That's what we have to start doing as people. You got 2 people here that said they had credit issues. Why isn't that we're over here right now facilitating a dialogue on how to fix credit issues? Why? Because we've went
through it.
All of the mess you could go through. And I could keep it to myself. Vernes could keep it to herself, but we don't want to do that. I'm going to tell you right now, I said on my channel all the time, I want to see everybody come up. You ever had a party and you're so bougie that nobody wanted to come to your party because you was too bougie and you the only one at your own party? That's a party of one. That's just me keeping the info to myself. You ever had a party?
You're not my competition. I want you to win too.
Exactly. You go to a barbecue and you cooked all this food, only 5 people show up. That ain't a party. That's a get together. But if you have a party and everybody at the party, which that's the party PBT is having,
That's right,
and everybody coming up, that's a party. I want all us to be kicking it. I don't want me to be.
Listen, I don't want to have to go out to the restaurant and we gotta pay for the meal, and you look at me with those alligator arms. Who paying for the bill? No,
Yeah.
You should be saying, "Look, I got this too." I want all of us to be able to say, "We all got the bill." If the bill is $1,000, I want us all to be able to say, "We got it, we got it, we got it." I don't want you hanging out with me if you ain't got the determination, the tenacity to run this race, or if you are not willing to sacrifice. I can't be your friend. You have to have this determination within you. You have
It's
to.
so true. And people, stuff is not going to fall out the sky. The only thing that fall out of the sky in my world is these boulders that I'm dropping. That's the only thing that's falling out the sky. Everything else, I got to work. I got to hustle. I've shot videos on my YouTube channel at 2 in the morning. I did one the other night. I didn't finish till 2:30 in the morning. I had to be at work at 8:30. Do I necessarily need the money? I could one day. Maybe not today, but do I want? And do I feel a need to put this information out there to people that can learn from information like this? That's what I want to do. I want to see everybody come up. I'm not in that world where I want to be the only one balling and everybody else struggling.
I want to be the smartest one in my circle, honey, because listen, I need somebody
I want
to be
the
on
dumbest.
my level.
I want to be the dumbest.
Listen, let's talk about car loans. People, oh my goodness, car loans and credit. First of all, whatever kind of car you're going for, make sure you can afford it. Just because you see that $100,000 Lexus and you know you can't afford it, you might want to go get a 2 or 3 year old Lexus, because guess what? They all run the same way on 4 wheels with gas. That's one thing. 2, look at your APR rate and what they are charging you, okay? The next thing is, if you go to a credit union or your local bank that you normally bank at, you're probably going to get a better rate than getting that loan from the actual car dealership, because they are going to definitely run your credit 125 times. I'm going to tell you this now. So be smart, because this is your money. This is how I bought my car. I had an accident on the corner. Somebody ran into the back of me. The guy had a floor tiling company. He said he didn't see me. He said the sun was in his eye. I think he came from the bar, but whatever. Tore my car up. Went and got a new car. The credit union paid my car off, gave me a check. Of course, you know, they run your credit, gave me a check for more, told me to go find a car for $35,000. You know what I did? I went and got me a car for $15,000. I have a 2015 and it's a Mazda. And when they say zoom, zoom, it ain't no joke. My car's name is Thor, and Thor be going fast. I have to slow down, Thor. And let me tell you, that baby is so sweet. Listen, I don't care if you see me in a 5-6-year-old car. Look, my car note is almost paid off. It could have been paid off way before, but you guys know I lost my job. But listen, I took advantage of all of that. You just because somebody tell you go buy a house for $2 million, if you know you can't afford that note every month, you better go out there and get you a $150,000 house and be happy with it. Stop trying to live beyond your means. If you can't afford it, do not get it. And a lot of us don't do that. They think, oh yeah, they told me I could buy a house for $500,000. Can you afford a house for $500,000? I know I can't, and I don't even want a house for that much anyway. But I know I can't.
Yep.
And look at your rates. You don't have to take out a 30-year mortgage if you don't want to. Take out a 15. Take out a 20. You know, take out what works for you. So what do you think about when people are going to get these car loans? Should they go to the dealer or should they go to their local credit union or bank?
Oh man, it's I work. You're right up my alley now. Like I said, I work in the automotive industry, and I got to make sure I don't do a conflict of interest here. But yeah, I can tell you right now, this is going to be mind blowing. Most of the dealers in the DFW area, they're not accepting checks from credit unions right now. They're not accepting loans. It's only 2 that we accept. I'm not going to name those 2, but it was taking too long after the pandemic to get the funds from the credit union to the dealerships.
Wow.
I can't really answer that question, but I think Vernes hit the nail on the head. I will say this, though. In the automotive industry, is it best to have your financing set up? I'll let you answer that question. I think Vernes answered that. I personally haven't had a new car. This is going to be, some of you weren't even born the last time I had a new car. I haven't had a new car, which they call a new car, since 1994. I've had several cars since then. I've had 6 Lexuses, an Infiniti, 2 Infinitis. I drive an Avalon right now, all fully loaded, but they've all been pre-owned. Why? Because a car is a depreciating asset.
Yep.
I mean,
you drive off the lot.
I had this Lexus LS 460 that they call it a borrowed vehicle agreement at the dealerships in Texas. And I took it out for the weekend. And man, I met my younger brother in Plano, which is about an hour from where I live in Mansfield. Floating. I mean, I'm going down the road just floating. And I said, I got to have this. I see one of the biggest mistakes I see in the car dealership is people get emotional real quick. And that's why Vernes is saying they get emotional. They got to have it. I was in love with that car for probably a good 26 hours. I went back to the dealership, and from my house to the dealership, I don't even have to get on the freeway. And this is where reality set into place. Rod, that car felt great on the freeway. And would probably feel great on Sundays when you're off, on Wednesdays when you're off. But do you need this car to ride up and down this main street?
Hello?
No, you don't. I got you beat, Vernes. I got a 2013 Toyota Avalon fully loaded with 50-something thousand miles. And I'm like Martin Lawrence. I'm going to ride it till the wheels fall off. My car payment is $336.
Me too.
I've had Lexus. When I was in California and I was younger, man, I used to drop the top at the red light. It didn't care if it changed green. It didn't care who I was pissing off. I was just kind of wild like that back then. But I did all that, man. Now, my biggest goal right now is instead of a Lexus or a Mercedes or a Beamer, I want to generate generational wealth. Let my kids and my grandkids and their kids and their kids, let them go buy the Lexuses with Rod's money. Because nobody left me anything. Nobody really left my younger brother anything. But you best believe we have our children set up. We didn't get mad because we wasn't left anything. We just said we're going to change the generational situation. We're going to change the generational situation. So I agree with you. You go to these people, go to these cars, and I've sold cars, so I know what people are looking for. I mean, it's a reason they turn the air on cold when it's 100 degrees outside. It's psychological. It's the mindset. Or if it's freezing, they got the heat on. I'm just gonna tell y'all one of the things I did. I used to walk outside and fumble around with the fob, acting like I couldn't get it unlocked. They are just shivering and freezing. By the time they get in their warm new car, now they all warm and cozy. We'll take it, right? We'll take it. We went around the block. We'll take it.
Yep.
So, man, just be.
If you want a new car, the car dealerships do have cars that they use to travel people in, or they use for loaner cars. And some of them have low miles. Some of them have 5,000 miles, 6,000. If you want a new-ish light car, try to go for that. But you don't have to buy the brand new car with 0 miles that costs more than your mortgage. And this is another thing. And I know I'm going to hurt some people's feelings here, but listen, this is my channel. If you don't like it, you're going to have to leave.
Well, don't leave today. Leave tomorrow.
If you live in the projects, if you live in low-income housing, if you live with your mama, don't be out here driving the hottest, newest Alfa Romero. That makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense. I'm driving past the projects, but I see this brand new spanking car. Then why are you living here with your rent $25? Answer me that, because I don't understand. Can you explain that to me?
I can't explain it to you. I agree with you. No, I can't. I mean, some people just like to get over it. I'm just going. If I hurt people feelings, hey, points blank, man, I'm gonna hit you right between the eyes. But no, and I'm not gonna say go buy the raggediest car. I'm kind of country. I ain't gonna
exactly.
But you ain't got to get the a BMW or a Lexus or a Mercedes. And
what's that car that come with the driver?
You talking about the Tesla?
No, the other one.
With the driver?
Yeah, it comes with the driver. I know P. Diddy used to have one.
Maybach?
Don't be driving around here in a Maybach, but you ain't got the driver. You the driver. What sense does that make?
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And I know we talk about credit, but man, credit will once you open up your eyes to credit, it'll open up so many other things, and you will start financially thinking different. Now, I am gonna say this here. People will say, like it's funny, and I've actually kind of scaled it down a little bit. I have 2 consultations. I have one for $24.99, and I'm not saying this to sell it. I'm just telling you what's going on. I got one for $24.99 where I talk to you once a month, and I got one for $49.99 where I talk to you 4 times a month, every week. Do you know people like, I don't know if I want to spend that much, Rod? Boy, y'all lucky this ain't my channel. And I ain't gonna curse on Vernes channel. Do you know how much money bad credit costs you? Do you know how much money? 18%? And you worried about paying me $25?
Listen,
good.
If they were to pay for what we just did, they'd be paying a pretty penny. We gave it to you free.
2.5 hours. I got a buddy of mine. He is a YouTuber. I got a buddy of mine right now that charges $600 an hour for consultation. An hour. And I'm not saying this. I ain't really tripping out on consultation, but I'm just wanting to get people in the mindset. I don't care if you call it Rod. I don't care if you call it Vernes. Stop thinking that having challenged credit is not expensive. Calculate. I can tell you right now. Go to Google, take a $30,000 car, put it at 18% interest rate, and put how much you're going to be to pay for that car after 72 months or 60 months. You're going to be about 2, if not 2.5 cars in 6 years. But if you get a 4.29, a 3.99, a credit union 1.99, you're barely paying a little bit over what the car costs. Yeah.
Yep. And you know what?
Challenge credit costs money, y'all.
Yeah, it does. That's what he said. He said it costs money. Yep. If you have a house, especially now with the pandemic, you can refi. You can get a the mortgage where they look it over and see what it is. And guess what? I did that again because I lost my job in November. My rate was 5 point. Now I'm at 3.0. You know how much money I'm saving?
Wow.
My regular payment went down. You know, I'm in New York. That's all I'm gonna say. Now you can imagine how much I'm paying.
Wow.
Use the resources that are out there for you. We are here to help you. We are giving you this free. Okay, we could have said nope. We're going to make this only for members, or we're going to make this only a live stream where you have to pay. If you have people giving it to you for free, and then they have a service like Rod or I, and they say, hey, if you want to talk to us one-on-one, it's $50. That's nothing. That's nothing. Because I'm going to give it to you real. I'm not going to give you the easy way out. I'm going to tell you it's hard work. Yes, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're not going to be able to buy that dress, that card. Believe me, there's certain things that I have sacrificed too. But you have to do that. And like he said, bad credit is expensive. So take these tips that we gave you today and start implementing them. Again, I don't know about Rod, but I'm very open. You guys can reach out to me on Instagram and I will help you and talk to you. You can go back and rewatch this live. #replay is the best, baby. You can go over to Rod's channel. He does lives, and I'm going to let him tell you when he does lives all the time or when he does his videos. But go check out his channel. Check out his videos. He actually has 2 channels. Listen, us brown and black people have to do better. We have to do better. What you want to say, Rod?
I agree. And I forgot how many people are in my Patreon membership, but every one of my channel members have my personal phone number. And I do have a thing where try to text me first, like D. Brian. We chat at least 3 or 4 times a week. He's a channel member. You didn't have to go get this consultation thing for $24.99, $49. I think he's a platinum member, so that's $9.99. The only reason I even did that is because I only had so much time in the day, but I'm not that individual that okay, we got a 15-minute consultation clock starts now. Now, if we get to talk about marbles and what you did in the 3rd grade, I would probably start to cut it short. But then it's been times I've been on the phone with people 50, 60, an hour and a half, just chopping it up, getting to know people. But you can hit me at pointsblanktravel, just like it is on the screen, at gmail.com, and give me up to at least 24 hours to respond. Speaking of which, there were several people from your fam, Vernes, and the House of X fam that came over and subscribed to my channels the other day and commented And I just it was a backlog. I don't know if anybody else experienced this, but I had to put it out there. They removed a lot of those subscribers. They removed them, and then they also like refurbished them. And I had 232 notifications on YouTube when I woke up this morning. That's way more than I normally get. But I saw notifications comments from Uniquely Lavish and a couple other people that are in here that I know commented a couple of days ago. But to answer your question, I'm very accessible. However, I know the services that I provide. I'm not trying to make a killing, but I also know how much they cost with people that are trying to make a killing. And when we agreed, I already wanted to work with Vernes. There's a couple of people I want to work with. And when we talked about doing this, I was so excited. I wasn't thinking about how much could we make from it. I just was thinking about, man, I'm excited to be working with Vernes Junk Closet. You know, I'm happy
to be working with you. It's like,
you know, this shit, the reason I got this dang old towel. I was gonna wear a t-shirt, you get up on IG this morning, put no makeup, doing a hair. I said, man, now I gotta look like I got some sense.
Look, we got to come up here right. No, we gotta represent.
And I was texting with Shelton this morning from your favorite kind of like, man, Shelton Vernes over here doing a whole makeup show, man. He was like,
I was promoting us.
I heard. And I had just woke up and I saw that, and I'm like, no, she didn't, man. No, she didn't.
Okay. I got to represent us.
I got 7 ties on my channel. I got 7 ties. I tried on 7 ties. The only reason I got this one on because I ran out of time. 2 different shirts, a couple sports coats. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tell Vernes about this, but I could have thrown one of my PBT t-shirts and been chilling and didn't have to think about it. They all look the same, but it's just a pleasure, man, to this community, this YouTube community, man. It is.
Sure do, Terrell. Listen. I sure do, because it's not only for me. It's for other people too. I've helped so many people. And let me tell you, I don't charge you, but I get things. Y'all gonna make me cry. I get things on the back end. People send me stuff in the mail. People give me super chats. People send me money on my PayPal. And I don't ask for anything, but I do want you to be knowledgeable. You have to take your own life in your hands. Create the life that you want. If you want a house, you have to get your credit in order. If you want a car, you have to get your credit in order. We all had our credit that may not have been good at one time or another, especially if you're young and coming up. But once you get to a certain age, your credit should kind of be okay and on point. Do you understand? And you look, we're giving it to you, and that's all I can say. So if you guys have any more questions, I'm going to stay here for 10 more minutes, ask more questions. Rod's link is in the chat. It's in the description. Listen, he has 2 channels. He's financed just like I am. We brown and black people have to do better with our finances. No one's coming to save us. No one's coming to save us, baby.
But and Vernes, I would say you're right. I'll say, just because of you. Now I will say this, and I give a lot of information out for free. Anybody in the BC, in case you don't know what the BC is, and I like to make up these little initials and stuff. The Booski compound.
Yes.
Anybody that's in this, anybody that's in this live stream. Now you will have the cheapest one is $1.99 a month. $1.99. Ain't talking about $100 now. Ain't that important? Well, maybe I am, and I think the high platinum is $9.99, $9.99. Anybody in this that becomes a channel member on Points Blank Travel, I will give you my personal phone number, unlimited access. We ain't talking about once a week, twice. Now you ain't gonna call me every day talking about Rob, what you eat for lunch today. That ain't happening. Right. Hey, did you supersize your fries today, Rob? You know, but everybody that's in this live stream that's in part of the Booski compound. You have to become a channel member. You can be the silver member or the platinum member, and I will make sure you have access to me, because you have to want to help people. And a lot of times what I end up doing anyway, if y'all have ever seen me go, I don't think I've hit Vernes that hard yet. I know I did, and I will be soon. Most of those memberships and stuff, the super chats I get, all I do is go and super chat it. So I just dropped, whose live stream was I in the other night? I can't remember who. Was it House of X? It was House of X.
Might have been House of X. Yeah, I think it was.
I dropped a 10 because they promoted They didn't program. They just threw up points, said points blank finance. I dropped another 10 because they said points blank travel. One of the PBT family members, another country, excuse me, Brown and Beachy did a $50. Yes. I just said, I felt good, so I just gave another 50. So the money I give them, so I really just give it back out to other people. That's anyway. Awesome. Because you're only going to get what you give anyway. I'm a firm believer in that. But I want to, me too. Before I get too emotional, I want to thank Vernes for
thank you
for having me here. I remember when I first started my channel, my first video, I was a 14-minute video, and I still to this day don't know what I was talking about. I mean, I was just talking, man. I was sitting outside under the tree. I was just talking. I knew what I wanted to be talking about, but I was just talking. And then I just got a text from another content creator that I've been waiting to collab with that I need to reach out to. I ain't in no hurry. We can be over here another 2 hours. I reach out to him, but it's just a pleasure to get to work with. It's a lot of talented people on YouTube. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that are so intelligent. And when I say intelligent, I don't care if you got degrees. I ain't talking necessarily book. They're just intelligent, period. Mm-hmm. Vernes just happened to be one of those people with book smarts, non-book smarts. She's a female, or I'm a male version of her. She's a female version of me. I don't know how. It's a blessing when you come across people like this, mm-hmm. and they're like. I'm a big fan of her lunchtime lives. I'm just getting mad because I can't watch the whole one because her lunch different than my lunch because it's an hour difference in that time.
What are you, an hour behind?
I'll go in and I'll say something, then I go to bed this and I try. Yeah, I'm an hour behind. So right now it's 3:38 here.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank everybody that came into the live stream. Hopefully we provided some type of valuable knowledge. And hopefully you'll take something. If it's just one thing about. If it's just one thing.
You gotta ask Rod that. I don't care. You see a favorite couple?
Hey, I'm down, man. I'll do a part 2. We'll be like the Fast and the Furious. We'll be on part 12.
We'll get together. We have to look at our how we working because I stay book busy and blessed, so I'm thankful for that.
You got one more time to say that, and I'm gonna steal that, Vernes. You got one more time to say book blessed and book or whatever. She texted me that the other day. And I ain't gonna steal it, but she said that the other day, and I just like, wow. I like that.
Yeah, and I love it, and I really do appreciate that people are like, wow, you really helped me with this, you helped me with that, you helped me get through this, your inspiration. Because listen, if somebody doesn't come into your life or your area or your YouTube channel and they don't feel love, man, you're not doing something right. They gotta feel love and joy and happiness. I want everyone to say, wow, her presence made me feel something. And that's what I've always wanted. And I'm just a big helper. I'm a big giver. I'm a person where I can't receive compliments. It's hard for me. And I know I need to stop that. I'm getting better. But because I give so much, when it's time for them to give back to me, it's hard for me to comprehend it. It's hard.
You're definitely influencing people. I mean, I'm a firm believer. If you don't look at everybody and learn something from them, I know it's days that I've come in here after working 8 hours. Yesterday I worked 8 hours, and I came here and did a live stream last night, and then shot a video to 2 or 3 this morning. House of X. Uniquely Lavish, Leo, Winston. I mean, and when I say that your favorite couple, I get motivation from other content creators because I'm like, does she ever get to a point where she just want to have lunch and not go live? It doesn't seem
not yet.
It doesn't seem like it.
It helps me. It helps me too when I'm on there and giving that inspiration. It does. It helps me.
It's just
like,
it is
like when I was talking about when I saved the baby. It's like I told people in my family, but when I came on YouTube and I told my people, they understood. Like that was emotional for me, saving a baby's life. And like I said at the time, I didn't even think about COVID. It was just like save this baby's not breathing, And
wow,
that's all you could do. That's
well. You're an amazing person, Vern. You are.
Oh, I know thank you.
I have an interview coming up with House of X, man.
Mm-hmm.
House of X, we're going to have to bring it because I don't know if we can top this one. We're going to have to bring it, but It's a
You're
couple
gonna
of
be good
YouTubers.
because they're a mess. They're a whole mess over here.
It's a couple of YouTubers that I want to work with. Aren't you cool with man? What's her name? Angie Pooh?
Mm-hmm. No Angie Pooh, yeah.
I want to link up with her. I don't know. It's something. I think she sounds like a DJ or something. I just want to link up and do an interview with her. I don't know what it is. I got my little list. There's a whole bunch of people, but
good. There's some great people on here that you really do meet.
Stay tuned, because if you are or not, you may want to in December. I reached out, and this is closed mouths don't get fed, y'all.
That's right.
Closed mouths don't get fed. I reached out to, when I first started my channel, I was less than 1,000 subscribers. And there was an individual on social media that featured me in the top 10 Black brothers to subscribe to on YouTube for travel. And I was like, wow. And I was the first one. I was like, this can't be happening.
Wow.
Right before I got monetized, I was at like 920 subscribers, and he did a single feature on just Point Blank Travel. That got me over, I did the last year, that got me over 1,000. And this individual has over 500,000 followers on Facebook. 500,000. So I was talking to your favorite couple, to Shelton, last week. I said, man, I think I'm gonna reach out to this individual. I'm gonna invite him to Point Blank Travel. Closed mouths don't get fed. Do y'all know by the time I got home, I forgot I even had email or text the guy. I forgot I had his. So I got, and I got a text, and it started off, well, Rod, I would love to. And what does that usually lead to? I would love to, but I'm not going to be able. It said, Rod, I would love to. However, my schedule is booked in November, but let's look at December.
Yep.
And I was like, you never know, man. You never know. It's a lot of people I want to work with. How big, how small. I was like, man, this is beautiful. But anyway,
you never know who is watching. There are people that are watching that are on different platforms that may not actually be logged in to YouTube. And I have a second channel, and all I did was post some seagulls, and that's the thing that's going on over there at that channel. I don't know why, but 796 views. And I'm like, it's seagulls. The video is a short, but they love it. You never know who is watching you. You never know. Hold on one moment, Rod. Terrell, thank you so much, sis, for that. Hold on. Let me give you some love. Thank you, Terrell. So, guys, I do want to say this again. We have Point Blank Travel, Point Blank Finance. He has 2 YouTube channels. He's monetized on one, going for monetization on the other one. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And guys, awesome. Not only is, I don't like to say YouTuber, I like to say content creator, but he's giving you the information to help you in life. And that's what I want my channel to be about. Giving information that you can use on a basis in your life, not just to get up here and slam other content creators. I'm not about that. I'm not trying to be funny, but yes, I'm better than that. Yes. When you say I do too much with the pom, yeah, I do. Because I'm not average, baby. I'm not average. Because it's what you think of you. I don't care what you think of me. It's what I think of me. If I'm not happy with my own approval, baby. So yes, I love me. Your like is extra. And I'm going to do what I have to do to bring people to God and give people the knowledge to help them to thrive. Like I said, you're not my competition. I want us all to win. So check out Point Blank Finance. I am so happy you did this. And yes, we have to talk. We need to do another one. But what do you want to say to people that are content creators, people that are trying to get their credit in order? In closing, what do you want to say to them to have them? I'm going to drop down for 1 minute while you say that.
All right. I think for the content creators, first and foremost, because we talked a lot about credit, is don't stop grinding, man. Don't stop hustling. And just because you get monetized, don't stop there. I like what Vernes just said. And I'm a small YouTube channel. I'm pretty small compared to a lot of other people I know. But just when you wait
a minute, I gotta stop you right there. We don't say that word small. We say
okay. I'm a gigantic YouTuber. I'm a growing YouTuber. Okay, man, you came back. Don't be scaring at me like that. I thought Freddy Krueger was up here. Okay, now that Vernes just scared the crap out of me, I'm a growing YouTuber or content creator, whatever I'm supposed to say here. But just because you get monetized, don't depend on the videos. I have 300 and some videos out there. I have some pretty good videos out there, not from me saying it, but from comments I receive. And I always feel like every week I need to do 3 or 4 more because I want to keep grinding. I want to keep teaching. Matter of fact, I learn when I do the videos because I have to research this content. And I like what Vernes said, because you never know who's watching you. I did a live stream, a collaboration. It wasn't expected this, though ever expected to happen again, but I did a live stream 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and received 1,000 just to show up. A stack, whatever y'all want to call it. I don't expect it to happen again. Don't really want it to happen again because I was kind of uncomfortable, but I ain't gonna uncomfortable anyway. So just keep grinding, keep hustling. As far as the credit part, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I didn't get to a 809 or 777 overnight, but there are programs out there now that wasn't available when I was a 547. The self-lenders, the credit builders, they weren't out there when I was trying to get my credit to a certain level. Now it's so many different avenues that you can take, so many different ways to do it. And just don't beat yourself up. Don't get down on yourself. Keep it. Both of these credit and content creators have the same thing in common. Keep grinding. You're going to eventually get what you want. Whether it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. If you're like me, one of my goals is I want the silver plaque. I could be 86 by the time I get it. I never know. And there are some people out there that want 720 credit scores. We just got to keep grinding. We have to keep hustling. And just because we don't get it tomorrow, or just because we don't get it the day that we think it should happen, it could come when you least expect it. It could come on that day when you're down, things didn't go quite right that day, and you open up your email account, and then you get that email that says, congratulations, you've been pre-approved for this credit card. Congratulations, you just became monetized on YouTube. You never know when that day is going to come, but just keep grinding, keep hustling, man. I pride myself on not sounding better than nobody out there, because there are a lot of people out there that may be better than me, and there are a lot of people out there that are better than me. So I just pride myself on just being me. Don't compete with everybody else. Compete with yourself. I guarantee you, the day you start to focus on you, you're going to see advancements that you didn't even think were possible. I guarantee you. That's pretty much it, man. Hopefully you guys subscribe to Points Blank Travel. Subscribe to Points Blank Finance. And as I end every video that I do, I always say, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you. And again, I just want to thank Vernes. She could have had 1 million other people on here. And she picked little old bitty me. Even made your boy put his Sunday best on. and I am honored and blessed to have crossed paths with her. And I hope there's a part two. And even if there's not, she's somebody I will forever stay in touch with, because her motivation, her inspiration, her knowledge is second to none. It's second to none. So she's a blessing to have on this planet Earth. She is.
Oh, don't make me cry. Listen, y'all make me cry my eyelashes up. Y'all gonna be buying me some more lashes.
I'm done then. I'm done. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Don't worry. I cry with you. I ain't got no eyelashes though, but I cry with you. I've been known to get a little cheerful on my live stream.
Yeah, and like you said, let me tell you, I don't know, you know me and I. They were doing the thing for Ciroc, and P. Diddy left them a message, and now they're getting ready to do a live with a big YouTuber and a few. You never know who is watching you. And I always tell you, it only takes one video to go viral. You know, and what I mean by viral is way more subscribers watch that video than you have. I know I have one that's probably at 80,000 now, but at the time, I only had like 1,000 subscribers, and it hit like 20,000. And I'm like, I don't even know 20,000 people. You never know that one thing. So you have to stay determined, stay focused. Don't let anyone stop you on your dream or your goal to success. Because let me tell you, there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be people that are going to block your path. And it could be people that are family. that are friends, that are enemies, that are associates, that are co-workers. Listen, when they see you shining, baby, they're going to try to stop your light, and you better not stop. You need to keep going and stay focused on the goal. Do what makes you happy. I don't care if Rob wanted to be a YouTuber and his family didn't support him. It doesn't matter. Your family is not your target audience anyway. So it doesn't matter. If this is a dream and a goal of yours, you better go out there and be the best content creator you can be. And don't copy. Like he said, don't be in competition with everyone else. You stay on your goal.
Boy, that is so smart. As a matter of fact, when I started YouTube, I was trying to be like the other credit YouTubers. I hate to say it, but none of them were African American. None of them. I was all calm, and I was like, you know what? This isn't me, man. Let me come out here talking crazy, not crazy, but like energetic. And that's when I kind of catapulted it in a different direction.
Yes.
Once I started being me, be yourself, man. Be yourself.
Woo, yes.
I'll say something else. One thing I can leave with everybody: don't demand respect, command respect. People are going to respect you if the way you carry yourself. I don't know. Speaking of which, did Media and I text you before this live stream?
Oh, let me see.
I got a text from Anwar from one half of Media and I, and he just said he wasn't going to be able to make it because they're shooting a video today. They're doing a vlog, and I was like, man, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to text me. He could have just not showed up. But that's why I love this community, man. And even though I'm a content creator, I can't wait to see a lot of y'all and be on the other side of the live. Only thing I got negative to say about House of X is that they go super chat song. It stays stuck in my head all day. I be at work, man. You got a super chat. We got a super chat. And everybody like, Rod, are you having YouTube flashbacks right now? Like, no, man, it's this dude. They just see the song and it's catchy, but it's so many positive people out here, man. Let's just keep building each other up and not tearing each other down. Let's just keep supporting each other like what I've seen in here today. If all I got negative to say is how a song is stuck in my head and I enjoy it and I'm smiling when I'm singing it, that's good. Or now, every time I'm thank God she took us off the screen because every time she done played her Super Sad song, I'm over here bobbing and I'm like, oh man, she jamming. I need me a little song. Everybody, it's find positive in somebody, y'all. Don't look for the negative. Let's find positive. It's not that hard to find. Just find it.
Especially with everything that's going on in the world. Listen, and you're gonna get me to crying. I say this. When people say they're jealous of me, first of all, I tell people don't be jealous of me because you don't want to walk in my shoes. You don't know what I've been through. That's one. And two, I grind. I've been on YouTube and I have been on here for 4 or 5 hours doing a live stream. Okay. So let me tell you, don't be jealous of me because I work hard to get to where I'm at. And who knows that you can handle what I went through? I can't handle what you went through. So be yourself and just go out here and try to always spread love and spread light. And that's like my closing thing. It's always be you. Because when you're up here and you're trying to be somebody else, honey, that person is already taken. Be you. And just be kind. And I tell everybody, I got 2 channels. I got a full-time job. I have 2 businesses. This thing ain't easy, baby. This is not easy. Being a content creator is not easy. You'll lose people. You'll gain people. It's different. So stay on the path. And I want you guys to have an amazing day. I thank my guest, Rod, for being here with me. Thank you for enjoying the song.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And everybody in here, I appreciate you all that came and that stayed here. We've been on here almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 50 minutes. Vernell says, I grew up with your word is your bond, and it goes a long way. If something comes up, just inform the person, show people you're accountable for the word. Exactly. And also be transparent because people don't want you being up here being phony. When you're transparent, it really does help. Yes, that I got a super chat song stays with you, and really Mary does too. Right, Danya? Miss Mary. Yes, I lost 15 followers. Yeah, you lose. But it's okay because when you gain, baby, that's the best thing. And with that, guys, I want to say thank you all for being here. Again, make sure you're going to follow Rod on both his channels, Points Blank Travel, Points Blank Finance. Follow my second channel, VMAX Show, where you get to know me in a different light. You get to know me just as Vern. And on Saturday, I will be doing a live stream with Tuber Chat. We're going to be on his channel. We're going to be talking about everything YouTube, as always. It is his 300th episode over there on Tuber Chat. He is my YouTube BFF. So make sure you're going over there and you're checking out that. And in closing, again, guys, remember today is a good day to have a great day. Remember, no one is perfect. We all have flaws where we can become a better human being and help somebody else. And never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. I don't care what age you are. Don't stop, because you can do it. Don't let nobody tell you you're too old, you're too young, you're too black, you're too fat, you're too skinny. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Okay? So with that said, guys, go out there and spread love and spread light. I love you guys. Love and light. I'm going to play this song. Rod, don't go anywhere. I'm going to play this song on the ending. Hold on, guys. All right, guys, that is all for the day. You enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a pleasant week and stay safe. I love you guys. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Hold on, Ryan.
Thanks for all the love. Thanks for the love, y'all.